It's Offside with Hawes and McGuire.
Okay, all set?
All set.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hey, that was actually almost perfection.
That was good.
And look at, you know
Wow,
what? You
listen.
didn't, there's no mess
I've
on the
got
floor.
nothing.
You know?
It's fantastic.
You know what? Finally, he's fucking house trained.
Wow, it took a while. 64 years.
Hey, L'chaim.
Up the Republic,
Same thing. Yeah, that's
relatively speaking.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
it's good.
Yes. Okay, so this is this will be like our Easter thing. That's why I'm wearing the Solar Bears logo. I'm going
Okay.
all Easter, right?
Yeah.
I'm going like the Peter Rabbit.
Yeah.
And the Cottontail, Peter Cottontail, not
Yeah.
Peter Rabbit. Okay, Peter Cottontail. He wears a lot of pink.
Does he?
So I figured that's what I was gonna be.
Well,
Peter.
you wear it well.
Well, you know what I do
know,
actually myself. There's a couple
You're
people that-
confident in your
Myself.
masculinity.
Elvis Presley wore pink very well.
Did he? I never saw it once.
Really?
Did he?
Oh no, he was known for pink. Yeah.
Known for pink?
Yeah, he was known in the 50s. He was known for wearing pink. It was so bold.
Don't
at the
recall
time.
one outfit ever.
Oh, you see, you got to do a little more research.
You know, that's true. I'm
Yeah.
not a
You gotta do
haven't
more
delved
research.
deep
Ask
in
an
the,
old guy. Ask somebody in their 80s.
Yep.
Okay, they'll tell you absolutely. Elvis
Well,
wore
okay.
pink. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, pink lame. He had the pink jacket.
Yeah.
The black pants with the pink.
Pinky
It was,
tuxedo.
and he used to give away pink Cadillacs.
Pink Cadillacs. Yeah. Well.
So there you go. So those are things.
Bruce
So all that
Springsteen.
being said, that's why this is our Easter show.
Okay.
Okay, and Liam thinks he's the second coming, so that's how we're tying it all in.
That's good.
All right.
That's
okay.
good.
So
I feel like that right now the last few months, but
Well,
yeah,
you know what I
I'll tell
mean.
you, man. I'm only one man, ladies. Like, you know.
yeah, that's it. They're all disappointed.
True.
It is. It's
Yeah.
sad.
It's a
sad
colossal wave, a tsunami of disappointment,
Well, you know-
widespread across the
Well, the
township.
problem, you know what the problem is you're not setting the proper expectations.
Yeah, I
You
can't go
have
low
to
enough.
Start with. You got to start with the. Listen, this is not going to be. And then they
It's
go.
just
You know
going
what?
to be terrible.
It's got to be. This was not as bad as I had expected. That's
Right.
what you need. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
you know. That's why you never take a woman out to a fancy restaurant on your first date.
Yeah,
Like that's the biggest mistake you can make.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
you take them. You know what you do?
Yeah.
You take them. I've heard this, but I totally agree with it. You take them like to do things that you want to do.
Yeah.
Right. So you take them off roading if you're an off roading guy. You
Yeah.
take them hunting. Okay.
Yeah.
Or if you know what I mean. You take them places where they're like totally out of their element, and that you know what I mean. And then you find out what they're really made of. Right?
Interesting.
Like, why waste your time with this?
Damn.
We're going to take her to a nice meal. Like, yeah, you know what?
Where was that book 45 years ago? Is it out there? I don't know.
No, I just wrote it.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's an
'Cause
instant
Because
bestseller.
I have such great experience with women.
Yeah, exactly.
40
You're
years.
one man, one woman.
Exactly. You know
Yeah.
what? I'll tell you what. But you know what?
Oh, good for you, bud. I mean,
Here's
you know,
the thing. To be able to please a woman for
Yeah.
40 years.
it's impressive.
Okay.
Who do you think's doing it?
I can tell you, there are times when I'm not impressing. I'm going to not lie. But, but I am the little engine that could.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
that sort of confidence in myself.
You know, that's
Yeah.
all you got to do is get up in the morning and
chug, chug, chug.
yeah, free willy
That's
and away you go.
Exactly.
You know?
Okay, so let's talk about
Yeah.
this past week. We're talking about what was going on in hockey. Now, I have to say, and the first thing I'm going to bring up is
Yeah.
just this past Saturday night was the Toronto
Edmonton.
game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I fucking hate Toronto, as we know.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was so wanting Hyman to score the 50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, in Toronto. That
Rather
would've been
than
great.
against Ottawa.
Rather than against Ottawa.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was hoping that he would do it because it would be a great, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck you to the Leafs.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Leafs come out and just fucking dominate.
Probably their best first period of the year.
Yeah.
Probably.
And and then you have Matthews who fucking like showed why he's one of the best.
He polished up his earrings. There's no doubt about it. He was glistening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
looked
so,
outstanding.
Yeah. So
Whole team did.
What did you think about Edmonton's play?
Well, it's not just they're playing that game. They played the Canadians, Montreal Canadiens, the lowly Montreal Canadiens in the game before that, and were hard pressed. Very fortunate to win that in overtime.
Yeah.
Thanks to a 4-minute, technically, I guess, like Armia's stick got caught in a wedge play between bodies and came up. They gave him 4 minutes. It was no intent, but the cut, blood, got to call it, I guess.
Yeah.
And so Edmonton's got a power play in overtime with that lineup.
Yeah.
And they score. Barely get by the Habs. Didn't even deserve that. They get waxed by Toronto. Then they come in. You think they're madder than the Hornets, which they look like in that first period against Ottawa. It's probably their most dominant period, but they can't pull away. They can't get, they get ahead, and Ottawa just keeps coming back, which has kind of been an MO of the pesky Sens if you go back 4 or 5 years, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I know there's not really been the example of that.
Was anybody chanting Pajot, 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 Pajot?
I didn't hear any Gabriel Pajot chants through the screen last night, but I mean...
Oh, you weren't at the game?
No, I wasn't at the game, but I watched it.
I thought you were going to the game.
No, I've
been
to a few Sens games, but
no, it was somebody else. It was
okay.
Because when we bumped into each other
at
the pub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was and there was somebody else that was there. There was like Andy was there.
And
then somebody else came up. I'm not going to say who it was, but he was telling me he was going to the game.
Okay.
That's where that came up. But for some reason, I thought you and Andy were going to the game.
Oh no, I had I didn't have any plans. I watched hockey all day yesterday.
Yeah.
All day.
So you watched the afternoon game?
The first game was at 12:30.
Yeah.
So I watched literally 12 hours of hockey and loved every second of it. It was great. Was
that Philadelphia yesterday? The afternoon game?
They played. Yeah.
That's not the one you watched.
No, I watched them all. I watched parts of every game.
Oh yeah, you do that thing.
Yeah. Well, they had the nice overlap going.
Yeah.
There was only one period of time where there wasn't hockey actually on for about 21, 22 minutes. As you just reload the cooler. And you're good to go. But it was just a ton of great games because of the playoff implications. But back to Edmonton, Chris, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, unless we're being snowed here, like rope-a-dope here, like I don't know what the hell's going on. They have looked. I mean, they looked good against Ottawa, but they couldn't pull away.
Yeah.
They looked terrible against Toronto. They looked terrible against Montreal.
Well, so they looked terrible against Toronto until the third. They came back and scored 3 goals. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, at the end of the day, they won that third period.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know what the, what's the issue. Are they burnt out? I mean,
I mean, the goaltending hasn't been as good as it was during the stretches that they had. The first stretch that got them back into a playoff spot,
right?
And then the last one that sort of hung around 500 and then got better than that for a bunch of games, and it has them solidly in. Right. I mean, they're playing LA in the first round, barring anything really unforeseen. Right. So LA could possibly slide out the back door with 10, 11. Everyone's got 10, 11, 12 games to go. It's possible, but it looks like it's going to be in Edmonton, LA again, and we'll see what happens. You know, but I mean, right now, Chris, I just. You know what? I watched all the games, and I just look at them. So I wanted to talk about it, get your thoughts on it too. They just look like there's something missing. So, like you just said, is it the rope-a-dope?
Yeah.
Are they just like they're home and cooled? And is everybody picking up a lesson from Boston, going balls to the wall last year, only to crash, and sort of just saying, hey, we got our position. We don't care who or when we play. We're in the playoffs. I don't know. I mean, I watch it, and right now I just go, because I've wanted to. I think it's because I want Connor McDavid to have a long run. I want him to at least make a final. And they're at the point, right, with him and Draisaitl. Like, they got a couple years left on these deals, and I mean, who knows what's going to happen. I mean, if they got a team to get there, I'll tell you, you sure haven't seen it in these last 3 games. Even though they, territorially and possession-wise, played well against Ottawa, but when it came time to defend and make the saves when they needed, like, it was a specialty team game anyway. I mean, both teams are scoring power play goals at will, including the Sens, and big one to take the lead. And then I think it was Parker got the empty netter, I forget. But regardless, empty netter sealed it, and there you go, 5-3, game over. I mean, they just have looked so lackluster here at a time when you should be ramping up the other way.
Well,
I think
you would think
McDavid's going great guns. I mean,
so was Draisaitl. Draisaitl's all over it.
Well, that goal he scored against Ottawa yesterday, and of course he got the OT winner, I believe, against the Habs. I mean, same thing. It's a spot there. He's like the other side from Ovi. So, Ovi's been unstoppable for a billion years on this side, and with Draisaitl on this side, he's unstoppable. So, I mean, it's just like that shot against Ottawa yesterday. I know they were like I said, I watched it on TV. I'm sure you did too. And I mean, he's right down at the goal line. He almost had a skate. I mean, he's at the bottom of the circle where he shot it from.
Right, but it was on his off wing, so it was better.
No, I understand the angle, and that's why they're set up where they are. I mean, it's Stamkos, it's the guys. I mean, Brett Hull,
Haas does that.
Yeah, Haas. There you go. Yeah. This is Haas and McGuire, by the way.
Good. Oh yeah, did we not?
I don't think so.
All right.
I got reservations. I can't see them. That West is so freaking competitive. Like if the playoffs started today, Vegas is playing Vancouver first round.
Yeah,
like Vancouver.
Vancouver. And that should be the Stanley Cup final. At the end of the day, that's what should be in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, well, we can't.
We can't.
You can't
make that happen, but that's what should be.
It's a conference.
Vancouver's got the team.
It'd be a great semifinal, as would Edmonton and Colorado that people were talking about as little as 3 weeks ago. No, I know you know that. But I mean, it'd be nice if you could get the two best teams, and they went back to that whole 1 versus 16, which we had when the WHA teams came over, and that rolled until they went back to divisional and conferences. But I mean, at the end of the day, we don't have it, so you take whatever you get. The first rounds are going to be just insane. I mean, I think it seems to be getting incrementally better every year because the competition has just leveled out so much. And no one expected Vegas to win the Cup last year. No one expected Colorado to win it 2 years ago. And I don't think anybody expected Tampa to repeat. No one really knew during the COVID years what you were going to get.
Right. Then
you go back to Washington. Would Ovi finally get it done? You got Sid back-to-back. Now you're back to Chicago's run, LA's run, the Bruins in 2011. Really, there was none of those teams at the start of those seasons that you were going, you know what, for sure. I can see them winning the Cup. Like the Habs or the Islanders.
It comes down to any given Saturday night. A team can win, right? Because there is a lot of parity in the league at the upper echelon. Like it's like there's two tiers, right?
Yeah, there really is.
You know what I mean?
There really is.
There's two tiers.
Yeah, especially in the West.
Now let me ask you about that, okay? And you had mentioned something that I think was the 1 to 16 versus the divisional playoff brackets.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think we're doing it wrong right now? Do you think the 1 to 16 is the better way? Because I mean, at the end of the day, the team and they changed it because our division's harder than this division, and that's kind of why they decided to go with the divisional side, or that was their argument. But let's face it,
their argument was to drive rivalries. That's right. That's why back in the day, before we got up to 32 teams, Montreal and Boston would play 8 times in a regular season. Right. And now they play 4. So it's things have changed, and not for the better in that sense. I mean, everybody and their brother would have paid. Can you imagine had Ottawa and Toronto played again after what happened with Ridley into the empty net and the Morgan Riley basic assassination there, and just the temperature in that game. Had they had another one at all this season at any time, would have been amazing. Tell you, the first game next year is going to be amazing still because of that. It'll be a hangover effect, no question. Would it be? I wouldn't mind it. I mean, you just balance the schedule. 32 teams, have everybody, and you still can have your Prince of Wales and Clarence Campbell trophy winners. You do your West and the East, and everybody can still get their trophy there and do whatever. You still have to get points and win your division, win your standings, whatever you do. But I mean, if you just slotted everybody 1 versus 16, I think it would be outstanding. I as a fan would, and I haven't done it, it'd be an interesting thing to do. Just take pen and paper and see who would be playing who.
Who would be playing who.
Yeah. And just do a fun thing and just say, okay, just go points and run it up and see who ends up in the final right now before you try to, speculate as to who might have a better chance.
Well, okay, that's your homework. That's your homework for this week.
Right. Well, I love that.
Would you take that home?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you work on that and bring it, and then it'll be a good discussion for next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do it.
Okay. All right. Now we're moving on. I'm going to jump right into something you want to talk about, like races. Okay. And I don't mean like black and white and Asian.
Yeah.
I mean hockey pool.
This time of year. Oh, yeah.
Hockey pool.
What's going on now? What's the latest?
So today, as of today, right now, Chuck is in the lead again.
Okay.
He's back in the lead. Yesterday, he wasn't. Okay? Yesterday, it was Dave Zibby, like Zibkovic or whatever.
Yeah.
I apologize, Dave. Pronouncing your name is hard because it's like an Eastern European thing, and you guys all sound weird.
Zikovic?
Zikovic. I think that's what it is.
Something like that.
Yeah. Anyhow,
he's a big
it is like that. It's something like that. It's like Polish or Ukrainian or something like that.
Yeah.
So he was leading. Okay, so right now there's like 4 that are within close. Now, unfortunately, Rory is in 4th.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay. But still in there, like within 15 points.
Wow.
But within 10 points are the top 3.
Right.
It's crazy. And it's been shuffling around, and it's been tight. So I woke up this morning.
This is after a whole season. It's hard to believe.
Oh, it's crazy.
Huge thanks to Hosey and Brown for sponsoring that.
That's
man.
right.
Somebody's going to Ireland for free.
Someone's going to Ireland. Well, not for free. They're going to Ireland on Hosey and Brown.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. Like, that's what made this happen. So,
Yeah.
So everybody
well, they're
understands-
going for free, but Hosey and Brown are paid the freight.
Hosey and Brown are paying the freight.
Yeah.
So, just so everybody understands, like, that, how important the sponsor is, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't get that prize
No.
without that.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And to be fair, just so everybody understands how much, like, what it's worth.
Yeah.
Right? Okay? Just the trip, not including the airfare, is $5,800, right? Plus the airfare, which ranges, but let's just say $1,500.
Yeah.
That's the value of the trip.
Yeah.
And so you just like you understand how it, like, this is a great prize.
Get your auto parts from Hosey and Brown Automotive.
Absolutely. And you know what? I need to get auto parts. I need a lot of auto parts.
Do you?
Well, look at all the cars I have.
I know.
I need them to deliver to my house. And if I only knew one of the sales guys. I do. So
we can make that happen.
Yeah, I'm sure I can call up
make that
a fella
happen.
I know.
I could even run it over. I'm over there. I see Rod. I would go over there. I could pick anything up and drop it off here and come in and take a couple shots out of your liquor cabinet.
Well, we could, that's a possibility. You know what I need? Okay, so, and unfortunately, I always, because I have my Oldsmobile, I got a bunch of parts. So I've got backup parts for everything, and I pick them where I can get them and stuff like that. But I need to get some parts repaired, like refurbished.
Right.
Right? Because you can't get certain parts anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So I got to get them refurbished. So I will have to find out and talk to them about, who they know who can rebuild this little motor and this little thing on that stuff.
They'll know.
I gotta keep these cars running.
Absolutely,
because I sure as shit can't afford one of those electric fucking vehicles. Okay, and I can't afford a new cars with everything, like like with all the carbon taxes and everything that's going on. Like I just I'm ready to march.
It's all right. That'll be rescinded in 2025. It's right around
2025. It's going to be rescinded in about 6 weeks.
No.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's going to be a fucking guy on a clock tower, just deciding that's it. We're fucking done. Okay. That's the one thing. You know what? Say what you will about the United States, they wouldn't take this kind of fucking horse shit. The fucking NDP are cocksuckers, and true. They suck Trudeau's dick. Politically, they've decimated anything that the NDP fucking stood for. And I'm from Sudbury. I believe in trade unions. I believe in what they were able to do. What the NDP has done is given everything away.
Yep.
And they're taxing the people who can afford it the least, the fucking the citizens. Mm-hmm. Like, do you think that the fucking millionaires give a fuck about a carbon tax? Oh, yeah, fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay? No, they're taxing us fucking little guys, okay? And the NDP is making it happen, okay? And you know what? Honest to God, that is just, it's fucking deplorable that Canadians are sitting back, well, what are you going to do?
That's Canadian, though. That's why we're going to have to wait till 2025, unfortunately, by the next election. But there'll be nothing before. Nothing's going to happen, sadly. Sadly.
You know what?
Nothing's going to happen.
We're talking about a tax revolution, man. I say not just a tax revolution.
You know, and I know that
Where's the
nothing's
tea?
going to
We're
happen.
throwing it in the harbor.
Yeah.
We're throwing some tea in the harbor. Goddamn. I am so. Anyways, hey, listen. If I can't even. It just gets me worked up. It just gives me a fucking stroke. Okay.
Again.
You know, it's just unbelievable. And of course, you know, it'd be different if we had the actual best healthcare system in the world.
Yeah.
And we don't. We don't have fucking. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. And if anybody thinks we have the best medical system in the world, I challenge you to go into the hospital and see what it's actually fucking like. Okay?
Well, there's no doubt there's some serious issues there. No question.
Oh.
I mean, 8 to 10 hours to wait is...
Well, and here's the thing. It's not the nurse's fault.
No, of course
it's not the doctor's fault.
No.
It's not even fucking people in administration's fault. It's the fucking waste of government and the fact that they have not done anything. They don't want to do anything. That's how little these motherfuckers care about us as citizens and taxpayers. It's just, let's just get more fucking taxes from them. Let's get more fucking taxes from them. Let's destroy the economy. You have some natural resources? Nah, fucking don't use them. Let's wait until everyone's broke, and then Saudi Arabia will come in and buy up all our oil fields and fucking use it all. Like, oh my God. You know what we need? We need a big fucking Dave Schultz motherfucker to come in and beat the shit out of our parliamentarians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Again.
Bitch slap that fucking minister of
things that will never happen for $40, Alex.
Anyhow, okay, moving on from all that, this hockey talk.
Yeah.
Okay. What else are we going to talk about? We talked about the thing.
Well, yeah, I think Edmonton's in trouble, and I'm going to watch these next, what have they got left? They've got 12 games to go, I think. No, 14 maybe. I was looking at the scoring race.
Is that all 14 games? Like 12?
Yeah.
It just seems like it's almost, I mean, it's 3 weeks.
I think the Oilers
have
played
left in the season.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you play about 4 games a week on average. So yeah, it's, we're turning April 1st there next week. And over the
season ends April 19th.
April 19th, there you go, man. It's right around the corner. Absolutely incredible. I'll be just getting back from Alaska.
And I'll be just leaving for Ireland.
You'll be leaving for Ireland. Yeah. So we'll have to get creative here. We may have a week or two without a show, but...
well, we'll figure something out. We will figure something out. And it is unfortunate that you're going to be going to Alaska.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean?
Well,
because you know how much you hate seeing new places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
they
especially...
will not. I will tell you right now, St. Pierre et Miquelon may have it, but I'm going to tell you that Juneau, Alaska does not have exports.
You never know.
You
never know. They may have heard Liam McGuire's coming. And you never know. I don't know how the hell St. Pierre and Miquelon had Molson X, but I was one happy camper.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
The thing is...
What about Whitehorse? We're going there too.
Oh, Whitehorse will have it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been to Whitehorse. You know what? You should try while you're there.
Yeah.
Get someone to pop you up to Dawson City.
It's just a question of my time's not my own. That's the problem.
Yeah.
We're at the mercy of the schedule, and it's as you can imagine, we're doing all this in a week. It's a hectic.
Yeah.
It's a hectic go because we've got Anchorage, and then we've got Yellowknife.
Are you gonna anchor down in Anchorage?
We're gonna anchor right down, man.
Yeah.
Anchor right down. Like we're gonna be.
Johnny Horton did a song about Alaska. Eh? You know that song?
Yeah. Well,
North to Alaska.
Yes, I know. I'm gonna actually play it on. I'm gonna post it. I should say.
Okay.
To tee it up because I haven't really. This is really the first time I've said publicly that I'm going to Alaska. I haven't posted anything about it yet or anything. So, April 12th, I'm super excited, as I was for the other trips.
Right.
So this is obviously a little bit different. I mean, the scope of the travel alone. Yeah. But I mean, just like going to Fogo Island off the northwest coast of Newfoundland or St. Pierre and Miquelon, which is owned by France. So, like places I would never go in a million years. I've never gone to Alaska. I would never go to Alaska.
No. When?
When are you gonna go? In the winter, I'm watching hockey. In the summer, I'm golfing. Like, I don't have that.
They have television there too.
Yeah.
They also have beautiful wilderness. You get to see things.
Well,
and I'm just saying.
This is the environment that's best suited for me. You know, because
what, a basement with a pint?
Well, this is extremely suited for me, but this trip is extremely suited for me.
Yeah.
A, I'm not paying, thank you.
Yeah.
And B, I mean, I'm getting paid. Even better. What a combo.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
C, I'm talking hockey. D, I'm going to be drinking every day. 4, partying with 10 of the greatest guys, former NHLers, and we're just going to rip it up. And then, we're going to see some great things. I saw some great things already. Even traveling up and down in New Brunswick, let alone Newfoundland, let alone what we're going to see here. So, but unfortunately getting to other locales like Dawson City. Not think I'd love to be there with the Dawson City Nuggets, having traveled in 1905 to play the Ottawa Silver Seven.
Well, but didn't the Dawson City Nuggets come to Ottawa in...
Yeah, they did
a few years, a few years ago.
Well, it's quite a few now.
I mean, it wasn't... But it was... I remember, I have a puck from it. When they came.
It was the 100th anniversary. They came in 2005.
Okay, so 2005. Okay, that's when they came to play an exhibition game
against the Sens alumni. Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
And Marshy in the dressing room said, "Hey, boys, they came a long way, and it's great to have them here, and we've hosted them now, and it's been a great party. Now we got to go play hockey. Let's do exactly what the Silver Seven did to them in 1905. We're going to crush them," which they did. Yeah. And I remember Roe McRae was still alive writing about it, but that was pretty cool. I attended and worked at some of those events, and with them coming in, and these guys were so thrilled to reenact that. You know, I mean, they tried as best they could, right? I mean, they came by train, plane, and automobile the whole way.
They had the
throwback equipment, not quite, But there was some neat things, and I mean, would have loved to have been able to get up to Dawson City, but I don't. It does not appear as if that's in the works. I haven't actually been sent the full itinerary yet, day to day. So, but I know that it's I know from the previous 2 tours, like the schedule's pretty tight. Like we were able to sightsee on Newfoundland a little bit, but that's because we were in an enclosed. Like we were able to go just a few miles that way or a few miles that way. Yeah. So Dawson City, I think it's a little bit.
Well, listen, when you're in Whitehorse, you go a few miles this way, a few miles that way. You're either eaten by a bear, or you're struggling with a salmon. So
okay. You know, well, wait till you get a load of me.
An Arctic char. Yeah. Right. So
I'm gonna bring.
It sounds like it's a great opportunity to go and see another part of Canada and the United States. Yeah. Which is, you know what. It's beautiful. You know what? There's a poem by Robert Service called "The Spell of the Yukon."
Right. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. Can't remember how it goes, but yeah.
Well, it goes like this. It goes, "They wanted the gold. I wanted the gold, and I sought it. I scrambled and I mucked like a slave. Was it famine or scurvy? I fought it. I hurled my youth into a grave." Anyways, point is, it's all about this guy going there. Okay, and you know he went there because he was going after fortune, right? But it was the hold of the beauty of the place that pulled him back. Okay, and so he came out with a fortune last fall, but somehow the gold isn't what he wanted, right?
Right.
And so it's calling. Yukon is calling him back because you start out as a sourdough, you finish your first winter and everything like that, and then people say you never want to leave because it's the greatest place. And I got to tell you, it is beautiful. I've never spent a full winter. I visited in the winter. Yeah. But I got to tell you, it is a spectacular.
They're telling us, they're telling these NHL guys that one of the games they're playing, and it's all scheduled, sold, and everything, is outdoors. So they're still in the middle of pretty hardcore winter up there, I guess.
Oh yeah, they'll have like snow. I mean, they get nice weather as it comes in here and there. Yeah. But certainly till the end of April. Yeah. I'm sure that it'll be.
So mid-April, April 12, 13, 14, like. Anticipate. Anyways, that's on the schedule is an outdoor game.
We could have an outdoor game here. I mean, you know how they have an outdoor rink with the pipes underneath.
Well, I understand that, but okay, so maybe it's artificial ice. You're saying
it could be.
Okay, okay, I didn't consider.
And not artificial. I mean, artificially cooled, but it's real ice.
Yeah.
It's
well, we interviewed Steve Schutt, and he did that business for. I mean, when he got out of hockey, that's the business he ran.
Yeah, that's right for that company in Toronto, right?
Yeah. So, when are we going to run our next interview?
Oh, we're going to do it today.
Oh, okay, good.
We have an interview coming up today, and I thought that we should do something special.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was going to go, and then the next person on our interview list was this guy and this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
But I decided to skip over Steve Shutt for today.
Okay.
Okay. And I've decided to skip over Larry.
Yeah.
Okay. For today only.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do him next, Larry.
Sure.
Or whatever.
Yeah, whenever. Yeah.
Okay. But so
Where
today,
you going, right to Matty?
I'm going to Matt Carkner.
Matt Carkner.
And you know why? Because I saw a post that you put on that internet thing.
Yes.
Okay. And that was on Facebook, right?
And you saw the name Wendy Carkner.
I saw Wendy Carkner.
Which was his sister-in-law, which is his sister-in-law.
Okay. So I saw Wendy.
Oh, no, excuse me. Wendy was married to the late Rob Carkner.
Oh, okay. So it's his cousin.
Is a cousin.
A cousin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that being said, I saw the name and I said, you know what? We really should and that's also it. He's the GM and coach of the Solar Bears.
Exactly. Okay.
So
now I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Exactly. This is all. It's not just Peter Cottontail.
Okay.
Okay. It's Matt Carkner Cottontail.
Well.
That we're going on about.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to do this. So let's talk about Matt Carkner just briefly.
Yeah.
Okay. You can give me some stats and stuff about him.
There's only really one that's important.
What's the one stat that you feel is important?
He played the greatest 39-second shift in Ottawa Senator history.
Okay.
And you'll hear him talk about it on the interview.
Okay, so I don't understand. I don't know what you're referring to.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Shocker.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I know you know, but and everybody else does too. But when he didn't play game 1 against the Rangers and played game 2, he knew exactly what he was going on the ice for. Yeah. You'll hear him, folks, talk about this. I mean, we put it on a tee for him. All he had to do was just detail it, and he did. Yeah. And it was great because we were sitting just in the bowels of the dressing room area there. Yeah. It was so cool. We had such a great time with him, and he talked about basically saying to Boyle, "We're going," and Boyle trying to say no, and he's fucking right, we're going, and just speed bagged him, and he got suspended for it. But that series went 7 games, largely because I think Matt Carkner and Chris Neal played the way they did. Ottawa had such a tough team in that confines of a few years there. They were right there, man. They had so many of the right ingredients a number of different times in the history of this team. Not the least of which was during the Jacques Martin era, during the Brian Murray era, a little bit later, some of those other coaches.
But that was the coach at that time. Was that Corey Clouston?
I believe so.
Yeah, Clouston?
Yeah, right. I think it was Corey at that time.
Or it could have been...
trying to remember exactly who it was now.
What? Jesus
Christ. It wasn't Paul McLean.
Wasn't Paul McLean?
I don't believe so.
I know that Clouston was a coach during that time frame, but I don't know who was coaching that at that time.
Yeah, I think it was Corey, but I have to double check, to be honest. I should know that, and I think you're right. I think that's who it was. But anyway, Matt Carkner was drafted by the Habs. And
59th overall.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good, eh?
Yeah, that is good.
Got a fucking memory too, eh?
That is good.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is the first time you've ever pulled a stat out. That's amazing.
Listen, what are you talking about? I have pulled out stats. I've been wrong, but I've pulled out stats all the time. You should see me when I'm elsewhere. People go, how many goals did Wayne Gretzky had 687 goals in 1 year. He had, seriously, in Bantam hockey, 687. Really? You look it up. And, they don't know where to look it up. So then I win. So your ability to horse shit is only controlled by Google. That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
He did have, it was his Pee-wee season when he scored all those goals. That's incredible.
Pee-wee, okay. I thought it was, hey, whatever.
Yeah, anyway, you're close enough.
Yeah.
But,
in the rankings, this is, so birth year 1960, right?
Yeah. Wayne?
Yeah.
Wayne's 61 birth.
61, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
1961. So Jim Fox, also 1961.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So also 1961. When the rankings came out for Bantam players.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is going to be their year to go into the junior draft.
Right.
Jim Fox was ranked higher than Wayne Gretzky.
Than Wayne, yeah.
Because they thought Wayne was too light. And
that held true for 2 more years even.
Yeah.
They even drafted into the O. Wayne was taken 3rd.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is now getting very close to him. I mean, everywhere he went, he exploded the numbers, but everywhere he went, everybody said he's too small. Yeah. And he's going to get crushed. He's going to get eaten alive. That followed him all the way up.
Yeah.
all the way up, right into pro.
Yeah. But, as it turns out, we all agree probably the greatest hockey player to ever play the game to date.
Well, he's the greatest offensive force in the history of the game.
Yeah, exactly. But I say it that way with the caveat that Bob Orr will always be. But
I think Orr's the greatest overall player.
Yeah, but nobody will match the.
That's in a prime
numbers.
On prime. No one will.
No one will match.
Look, Ovi, and Ovi's all of a sudden found the fountain of youth here again, and it looks like now he's gonna.
Yeah, let's just drug test him and see what fucking happens.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he was using a few years ago.
I don't know. Was he? He was never.
Oh, that was the rumor.
Okay.
You don't remember when all those guys were like there was the whole steroid issue?
Yeah.
He was one of the guys that.
Well, the Caps were, implemented some of their guys there.
Yeah. So he was one of the guys that was on that list. Now, of course, I'm just spreading rumors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is the right show to spread them.
Absolutely, and this is exactly how the internet works. Just so you know. Okay.
I don't know if Ovi ever used or not, but I don't know what that could give him the ability to shoot the puck.
Have you seen his face? He used steroids.
Yeah. I mean, he's 38, looks 58, but now he's scoring like he's 28 again. Yeah. So 8 goals last 5 games, and the Caps look dead and gone from the playoffs. They're now in a wild card spot with a game in hand, points up on Detroit and the Islanders, and Tampa, who I thought also were going to fade into oblivion, have just charged right up and are on the verge of really solidifying their spot. I don't know if they're going to do anything in the first round or not because, somebody's getting either Boston or Florida and the other one's getting the Rangers. But, those teams are beatable, man. That's the thing. That's the parity. I don't know.
Any given Sunday, Monday, Saturday, whatever night it is.
Any given day. It's going to be every night in the first round of the playoffs. You got 8 games, and it's just fantastic. It's the best 2 weeks in sports. First round of the NHL playoffs.
You're not into the whole basketball March fucking madness?
I'll throw an eyeball on it here and there, but no, I've never invested any interest or passion in it. I will watch some of it as, if I'm just catching it at night, but it's not destination viewing for me.
Yeah, no.
Not like yesterday. Yesterday, when I saw the NHL schedule, I went, baby.
People go on about basketball.
Buckle up the chin strap, load up the pints. I'm sitting on this couch all day right here.
Well, that's what people do with this March Madness.
I know. They love it.
This thing,
they love
it. They're going on about the whole thing. Basketball is the greatest sport. Listen, strap on some fucking blades there, Kareem. Okay.
Yeah.
And dribble a much smaller fucking ball. Okay, with a stick. Okay, and then you tell me that basketball is a great game. Okay.
Well, you're not going to say it's not a great game.
It's a good game.
It's all sports are good and they're relative. Chris, you can't hammer a sport because
I can hammer a sport.
Well, you can, yeah.
Yeah, I can hammer.
Yeah. I'm definitely not going to hammer basketball. I think it's a fine sport. I just don't have any interest in it.
Absolutely, but it's not. Anyways, but
it's not hockey.
But it's how much money is gambled on basketball. March Madness, it's crazy.
Not as much as the NFL, I'm sure, but I mean.
I don't know. I think it's probably more because those kids can be bought. So just saying, it's just another rumor, right? That's just it. That's how the internet works.
You're unfucking believable. You're unbelievable.
So listen, I want to tell you about this. This reminds me. Okay.
Those kids can be bought.
Okay.
That's the line of the show. I don't even know why we're going to keep going. Really.
Okay. So my brother calls me up yesterday. He calls me Saturday. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing Sunday? You want to come over?" And I go, "Okay, fine." So so my brother's staying at a house that my sister owns, which was my grandmother's house.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we grew up going to visit my in Vanier.
Yeah.
Okay. Literally a stone's throw, and I have thrown stones.
Yeah. So you know it's within a stone's throw.
All right. So to Louis' restaurant, Louis' Pizzeria on MacArthur Avenue. That's fucking great.
Yeah,
no. Okay.
No.
Well, so I'm doing a plug right now, and this is for no money or anything like that. They're not a sponsor. I haven't been to Louis in about probably 20 years.
Okay.
Okay. Now I may have gone once, but I haven't been in 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So it has not changed. It's the same ownership.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's the same moving down. Okay. So we go in there. First of all, they've got staff.
Yeah.
Who are fucking professional. I mean, these ladies are boom, 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 boom. You need this. and it's like, you want to go and see how a business should be run?
Yeah.
Fucking go to Louis on MacArthur Avenue. Okay. Then we order, and so from the time I was a kid, okay, my pizza there was the Louis special, right? So and my brother too. So so we ordered the Louis special and blah blah blah. We get that, and it was great. And then we had pie. They got pie. And I know pie is an old guy thing, right? But fuck you, I love pie. Okay, I'll drive out of my way for a good pie, great pie. So, I'm just gonna tell you what we had yesterday. Okay, probably the best service that I have had in, I don't know, probably fucking 10 years. Okay. So the only better service I had was at Oscars in Vegas. Okay. All right, which is where Grace ended up having her wedding. We rented the whole restaurant. Oscars, by the way, downtown Fremont. It's awesome. Okay, it's named after Oscar Goldwyn.
Oscar Goldwyn from the $6 Million Band?
Right, yeah, no, not... Yes.
Oscar Bonavina?
Yes.
The heavyweight fighter?
Yeah, no. So
Oscar Lindsay, who drove our bus?
He was the mob lawyer in Vegas. And he later became the mayor of Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So he actually plays himself in the movie
Hangover?
Casino.
Oh, Casino.
Oh, yeah. No. Like, this guy's legit. This guy's a legit mob lawyer. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, he's in his 80s now.
Yeah.
Okay. But he was the mayor, and his wife became the mayor of Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
And they actually rebuilt downtown Las Vegas, because a lot of people don't know this, but the Strip is actually not in Las Vegas.
Right.
Okay. It's in Paradise. Like, it's a different area.
Okay.
But anyways, this is an awesome restaurant. Okay. It's again, I have to go every time I go to Vegas. It's there, and so much so that we actually. Flew everybody for Grace's wedding.
Yeah.
And we had it there. And you know what? Never had like, everybody thought it was awesome. Anyway.
Sure.
But Louis, other than that, the best service I have had. You know what the fucking bill was?
For the two of you?
Yeah.
And you had pizza and pie?
Pizza, pie, and pop.
So I'll say, well, it's got to be 50 all day for fun.
No.
Probably.
Not even.
Had to be.
No. $39.
$39. So no one had any alcohol.
No alcohol.
Okay, there
no
you
alcohol,
go.
But still, you can't get a fucking pizza in Manotick for delivery for $39 anymore.
Yeah, you can.
Where? Not what I order. I always get it. I just last week or a couple of weeks ago had it. It was $38.
Yeah, but what else did you get? You got
no, nothing else. That was it. Just pizza. Just a large stuff.
30 piece.
No, but that's what they charge. It's the butcher's thumb. And it's all this. There's a lot of inflation. I get that. There's a lot of greed out there too. I was telling you.
So you would have got a large or a super large. What'd you get? I don't know. Do you remember? Not that it matters.
No,
but you're saying you got a pizza. So you got delivery costs.
Yeah.
And does that include your tip, or that was the base price?
No, that was the base price.
Base price. You're telling me was 38 or 39?
Yeah.
For a large pizza.
When delivered from Manotick.
From the tick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And
you're not exactly right around the corner from Manotick either.
No, but it doesn't matter. The point is that, you know what? Louis was such a great deal.
Yeah.
And you go in there and it's full of regulars. The place is full. Like you have to wait to get a little booth. And the same booths from when I was a kid.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So awesome.
That's
like,
pretty
honestly,
cool.
I was so impressed by the service, the professionalism, the quality of the food. You know, one of my pet peeves, right? I've told you this before. When you go to a restaurant and say, yeah, can I have a Coke? And they go, Pepsi okay? Yeah. And it's like, no, it's not fucking okay. It's not okay to settle in your world for fucking Pepsi. So I get that. And so they got a Pepsi machine there. And it's like, oh, fuck, okay, they're not going to have Pepsi. They're not going to have Coke. And so my brother goes, well, can I get he asked me if he wanted a Diet Pepsi or something. And she goes, okay, do you want Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke? And my ears perk up, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, we got both. And I'm like, really? Right? He goes, well, I'll take a Diet Pepsi. And it's, because he's got more French-Canadian blood in him than I do, right? Okay. So he gets his, and I said, so can I get a regular Coke? She goes, absolutely. And I thought, imagine a fucking place that gives you a choice of what you want. If you like Pepsi, have a Pepsi. If you like Coke, have a Coke. Don't have to fucking settle for Pepsi. Okay? It's fucking ridiculous. Okay? So Louis wins on all fronts.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I tell you.
I said to him, I texted Kristen.
I got to go and check it out.
I said to Kristen, we are going back again. I got to go, but like, honestly, first of all, like, you know, I'm not going to go all the time, every day. No. You know what I mean? But we're going to go more often, okay? We're going to go there.
Yep.
Because it was such a great experience. The food was great. And the pie was fucking amazing. It was great pie. And that's what I said to Chris. I told her all, and they have both Coke and Pepsi, and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, and then I wrote, and then another, like, as you're going down the text, I go, and they have pie.
And she knows.
She knows.
She knows her man. Oh, baby.
So anyhow, Louis Pizzeria.
That's one night. Last night I have to cook. That's what she's thinking.
On MacArthur Road, everybody's got to be there.
There you go.
Okay, got to go there. So support a great business that is fucking just serving the shit out of it. You know, killing people with customer service. Love it. I love it absolutely. Okay.
Great to hear, man.
Yeah.
Great to hear.
Yeah. No,
love to hear that.
Well, you know what?
I don't believe I've ever been. Oh. So I'll have to check it out.
Well, we can go.
It's licensed, of course.
You know what? They used to be licensed. I you know what? I'm not drinking a lot anymore.
I can't go into an unlicensed place, unfortunately.
Is that a court order?
Yeah.
Well.
But you know what? I mean, if it's that good, I mean, what's the worst case scenario? I mean, I'm sure they've had guys smuggle a pint in before.
I'm sure they have. Listen, so going back, this is the ironic thing. So when my brother left Sudbury, like we grew up going there, okay? Like literally, because it was at my grandparents'. We'd come visit, and that was the store at the end of the street.
Sure.
I'd go up there for my grandparents, Peter Jackson's. That was their cigarette, right?
Okay, yeah.
I'd have to go up there, and I was fucking like crossing. Now, MacArthur Avenue wasn't quite as busy as it was, and there was no Airport Parkway back then, right?
Yeah.
There used to be the Mr. Transmission on the other, where there's the Loblaws now.
Yeah.
Okay? And we used to play in that whole area.
Yeah.
Okay? There was train tracks there and everything. Anyways,
yeah.
So we used to go up there, and I know this is
hey, listen.
I'd go up there and
it's a different type of playing in Vanier a few years after that. So.
Yeah, well, there was the Playmate not far, right? You know. So the Playmate was actually, you know, if you could get along with bikers, it was the place to be.
Well, they came to the Gypsy Rose too.
Yeah,
so,
they did.
You know,
yeah.
they've been, I mean, going to pig owls on any given day, and so.
Yeah, if you get along, like nobody wants to have a fight with anybody. Like it's a general rule. You know?
Well, sure, no doubt. It's the old story. Nothing good's going to happen if it's 1 or 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But if you're just in there catching a couple features and the fabulous buffet
Eric
adds
Edwards
together.
would say, the buffet at the Clit Pit is.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
There's another one.
Yeah, that's another one. That's a good one. Okay?
Yeah.
Give your balls a tug,
that's
kid
it.
fucker.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going all out there. And
sure is.
It's another. It's
on
another,
fire today.
It's another. I'm going to do another shout out to Shorzy.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't seen. Remember, I told you I hadn't seen it, so I watched. Yeah. I watched Shorzy.
Yeah.
And you know what? I can see it. It's actually pretty good.
It is.
I mean, you know, I got to give it to.
Jared Kiso.
Jared,
yeah.
Kiso or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what? He's done a great job.
Yeah.
He's done a great job in all the iterations of stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
And it's a certain genre.
For sure.
But you know what? You gotta love it.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. And listen, I'm now fucking like my new thing. Tonight I'll be give your balls a tug, pit fucker. That's my new thing. I'm gonna say that to Kristen. Actually, no, I'm not. I absolutely will not be saying that. I will may ask. You know what I mean? Suggest she give them a tug, but no, I'm not going to do anything like that.
Oh boy!
All right, so let's move on. We were talking about Matt Carkner.
Wow!
Yeah.
Nobody goes down rabbit holes like us, man.
Yeah,
nobody.
no, absolutely. But you know what?
Nobody.
To be honest with you, I think that's what people have come to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of complaints coming about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it.
Okay. All right. We're talking about
Talks
Matt
too
Carkner.
much hockey.
Listen, we're talking about Matt Carkner. Fuck,
Yeah.
Don't get sidetracked.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna run the Matty interview on this show. That's fantastic.
We're gonna run it right now.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
going to run it right now. We're gonna
Well,
let it
enjoy.
play.
He's a beauty, and he's coaching in the.
He is the coach and general manager.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Of the Orlando Solar Bears.
Yep.
Which is a team that is also owned by the same owner as the Orlando Magic.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And ironically, it could have been an NHL franchise at one point. I don't know if you recall, but Espo wanted to locate the Lightning in Orlando.
Right.
Right? But the mayor at the time said, no.
Yeah.
Okay? But turns out, anyways, and going back to our Espo interview, okay, for like, talking about, things that have happened in Florida and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Great interview. If you have not watched the Espo interview, watch the Espo interview, because what a great man. But it was, what I found really poignant was when he unequivocally said that his greatest accomplishment was not 1972, was not,
winning the Stanley Cup,
anything like that. It was the creation of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like, you know what?
Well, I loved his analogy there when he said, are you a parent? Are you a parent? Yeah. Well, this is like having a child.
Yeah.
That's my child.
Exactly.
And that just really resonated with me when he said it that way.
And I said to him, I said, listen, you can neglect a child. And if you're a good parent, no. So, okay.
The interviews have been great. And Ken Hodge one ran
last week, and it was great. And you'll note how laid back and funny and relaxed the man was.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was a great interview as well. You know what? At the end of the day, when you start going through the quality and the different personalities of people, right?
Yeah.
All these guys have different personalities.
Very much so.
Right?
Very much so.
All good guys in their own right, I guess. You know what I mean? From there. And Matt Carkner was he was very welcoming. You knew him from before.
I did, yeah.
And I did not. It's my first experience with him there. But I'll tell you, I was impressed. I thought he was very, as all fucking guys who can kick the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
They're pretty low-key and relaxed guys, right? It's like, you know what I mean? And he's got manners, he's got everything like that, but he had hands. His hands were the size of a dinner plate.
Well, it was like the top of his...
Yeah. It's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
big mitts.
But he was afraid to go with me. And, you'll see that. You'll see that in
for obvious reasons. Yeah, you'll see all that. Yeah.
So that's it. So we're gonna intro this. So this is our a segment that we call shooting
the shot.
Yeah. With Haas McGuire.
Brought to us by Gib Patterson and the Patterson Group of Golf Courses. Fantastic.
Yes. So
thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Help. Certainly would not have been possible to go down and interview these guys.
No.
Without the contribution.
Yeah. Because we had a hell of a trip. I mean, you did a ton of driving, and we had to find bars every night to drink in. It was exhaustive. And,
that was the hardest part. We got to tell them the story about when we got to we were in the villages.
I know. After
the villages,
so much hype.
Yeah. So we go.
They left out one key point though.
Yeah. The people, the driver didn't know where the fuck he was.
Yeah.
So we go down and we hear about this place, the Villages.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's women all over, and they want to have sex with you all the time. And
yeah.
It's this big fucking. It's the #1 STD capital of America, and this and that, and and I listen. I know, first of all, for two reasons. I'm married, and I'm not looking to do anything like that. So
on the other hand, was looking.
But he was, right? Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I was there to live vicariously through Liam, right? You were my Ron Duguay, and I was, so I was excited at his prospects. So we get there, okay, and where we get settled, and we go, okay, we gotta go out, and we they didn't have Uber. Right, and we knew we were going to be drinking, so we called it. Oh, we got a car service. Okay, so we say to the guy, we were told to go to this place. I forget what it was called, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
this guy took us to a place that had a similar name, in the middle of fucking nowhere. There were 6 people in the place.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. Yeah,
there was nobody.
It was just the whole thing was from the car service and the delay.
Yeah.
in getting the car.
Oh yeah, we had to wait for like ever, and then he took us to the wrong place. No, this is it. So we get there, and then the next day we find out, oh, you missed everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is a major letdown on that stuff. So,
but as it turns out, we would have been in trouble anyway because they closed so early.
They close early.
They close early.
9 o'clock,
like the Villages is allegedly, and I think by all accounts, 100% a very happening spot. I believe all of the advance intel that came to us and to me from other people is 100% accurate.
Right.
But we had some infrastructure issues.
We did.
And then some timing issues because no one happened to mention that they shut down, man, earlier than Ottawa in the 70s. Like this is an early shutdown, and we weren't aware of that as we were pile driving through our food, our late supper there. I had a big steak, and I was hammering back rum and cokes, like just priming the pump, getting ready to drop the clutch.
Yeah.
You know,
and then
drop the clutch and just give her.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, nothing.
Yeah, that's where I broke my my dry January.
That's right.
You know?
That's exactly right. I tried to tell you to hold off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you were. You know what? He's so good. He's like my AA buddy. It's just, if I ever feel like I need a drink, and I just call him, and he assures me I should.
Exactly.
You know, it's at the end of the day.
The end of the day.
You know.
When you get to the end of the day,
we never got to.
We didn't experience the full village genre.
We didn't experience the village people.
No, we didn't experience the village people. No, we did not.
We didn't do that.
No.
So we'll have to another time. So, but on our next trip down, and we are, because this is winding up. We have a couple more interviews that we cover.
Yeah.
But we're, for next season's set of interviews.
Yeah.
Okay. And hopefully we can renew our sponsorship.
Yeah.
Okay, which is our goal.
Yes.
Okay, to continue this on, so that we can go back down there. What I'm going to do is we're going to schedule things around. We're going to spend 2 days, or you can spend 2 days in the villages. So we'll get you there early.
Perfect.
Just an extra time.
That should be all I need.
Yeah. And we'll get you there.
Yeah.
We'll try and get a gig there.
Even better.
Remember that sports bar? We could probably get a gig there.
Yeah.
You'd probably set up a gig of some sort.
Yep.
At that sports bar.
Yep.
And or one of the golf courses.
Well, even in the hotel bar there, that beautiful hotel, you even call it that. It was Taj Mahal where we stayed, where you had us booked in.
Yeah, well, no, it was just a Hilton thing, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Oh, where was the one?
No, that's the one that we went to in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
That was the nice place.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice spot.
That's right.
Well, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. But I know my point is where we did end up anyway. I heard some guys talking hockey. Like I heard it. I mean, there's we could find some hockey talk down there. But I mean, more importantly, let's go see where the action's at.
Yeah, for you, and I'll just live vicariously through him because that's it's not the financial contribution that I would have to make by doing something like that.
Yeah.
Not at all worth it. Not to mention that I honestly. Why have a hamburger when you've got filet mignon at home?
No question about that, buddy.
So
I hear you there.
So okay, Matt Carkner.
Matt Carkner. Here we go. Finally.
All right, we're gonna enter this. This is Shooting the Shot with Haas McGuire, and this is our interview with Matt Carkner. Everybody, welcome back. This is our segment we like to call Shooting the
Shot.
The Shot.
Not
and today we're shooting it with Winchester or Chesterfield?
Winchester. Morewood, really. Like
Morewood. Oh,
talking
okay.
real small.
Okay.
Yeah.
Morewood native. Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Morewood native. A fellow by the name of Big Country, Matt Carkner. Matt, welcome to Offside with Haas and McGuire. By the way, I'm Haas.
I'm McGuire, which I think you may know.
Yes,
you may know.
Yeah. Long time, yes.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I appreciate it. I'm humbled by being on this show. You've had some big names on here.
Just us, really.
Yeah.
So, you got to get, we are intimidating, but, I mean, you've thrown down with a few guys.
A few.
Yeah. So let me ask you, I'm going to start by asking this question. So you're a defenseman. Mm-hmm. You were a tough guy. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you wouldn't classify you as a goon, but you could hold your own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I've noticed this. Why is it there are so many defensemen / guys who are, not enforced, whatever we'll call it, but Why so many go into coaching after? I noticed that there's a lot.
We're locker room guys. We love it. We
Yeah.
love to be around the guys. We love the environment. We love, to compete, for one. And for me, like being in the fight, like with the guys in the locker room and trying to build a good environment, good culture.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So it's, for me, I contemplate some other things as I was getting closer to the end, but it just, this just kept calling my name. So
Yeah.
For us tough guys, I guess that's it. It's just like the passion, the energy that we put into it on the ice and off the ice in the locker room. It just kind of translates into the post-hockey career.
Yeah. Now you're down in Orlando, the land of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you're probably at Disney parks all the time.
Absolutely.
But what's it like to be in a city that it just doesn't feel like hockey?
Yeah, well, that's 100% kind of the vibe I got when I first came down. I came down to visit and interviewed, and quite honestly, I didn't know if I wanted to go to ECHL route, but I was looking at AHL assistant jobs, and then this job came up, and I'm like, you know what? Being in control as a GM and a head coach, like that's a lot, and you're going to learn a lot. I just didn't know what the kind of hockey culture was down here.
Right.
But I got down here, and these fans are passionate. Once I got the job and I stepped onto the bench, and the energy and enthusiasm from the fans, like you could feel it in the arena. It's crazy. We get, we pack our house most nights. We get, tomorrow night we're doing Spit and Chicklets. They're coming out for Pink Whitney.
We don't
night.
save them on those.
Yeah, sorry, that's all right.
No, that's awesome. I've got noises a little bit.
We'll promote Spit and Chicklets if they promote us.
They will. I'll talk to them tomorrow.
Yeah.
But anyways, what I'm saying is we get good crowds, and our
Awesome.
fans are passionate. I was a little bit caught off guard about the energy and just the feel we got on the bench. It's a great venue. The Kia Center used to be the Amway Center, so we play out of where the Magic play. So we get all the bells and whistles, right? And I think we curtain off the top layer, so we get about 10,000 fans.
You do?
Oh, but it's bumping. It's
10,000 fans.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, we'll probably average around 70 some hundred, but tomorrow night we'll be well over 10,000.
Yeah, with the promo.
Really?
The promo.
Yeah, absolutely. Saturday nights we really bring in a lot of people, but that's the thing, we're owned by the Magic, so they get most Saturday nights.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, the fan base here, they're enthusiastic. They love the logo. And so you see them all over the place. The youth hockey team here out of our practice facility. It's a brand here. So for me, it's kind of cool. Like not knowing a ton about it and getting into it and seeing how passionate the fans are. It was pretty cool.
Now, how long you been here?
I've been here for really a year and a half now.
Okay. So second season.
Second
season as a coach.
Yeah.
It was. I'll be quite honest. It was a learning process. Just getting to know the ECHL and the ins and outs of it. I had ideas and I've heard, but there's a lot of moving parts. It's and I wear many hats. I gotta do a lot of damage control. You gotta recruit a lot of players. And it's never ending. It's just nonstop. So. It is really cool to be down here and not have to shovel snow. Yeah. But I don't get to, it's the off season's great, but during the season we're full throttle, full speed ahead with me and my coaching staff.
Yeah. These players know you? Like, do they know of you? Do they?
They do. When I get a little fired up, I get a little fired up, they're like, "Oh boy!" And I hit a brick wall with this. They're like, "Oh, he's been through a few things," but no, they look me up and they talk about it once in a while. Like, "Oh, we watched the videos last night." Like, yeah. It's like that's how it used to be played, boys. Like, you guys are soft. But no, they know a little bit, and they have a lot of respect for guys like me. My assistant coach is Ben Holmstrom. He played I think a little bit with the Flyers, and then most of his career in the AHL. But good careers. Yeah. Right? So these guys here in the East Coast, some of them are trying to make the NHL. Yeah. So they really respect us as coaches, having gone through it.
Well, I mean, there's hundreds of grads that have come from the ECHL. Or previously known as the East Coast Hockey League, like literally close to 400 at some point that have played at least a game at this level that have gone on to the NHL. So if anybody needs any, especially if there's still aspirations there and they're working hard, which you have to do no matter where you are, that should be encouraging enough to know that it is still a graduation system. You may not go right from here, but you certainly could go to the American Hockey League and beyond. It's been done countless times.
Yeah, a number of times. And I like for some of the young prospects that come down and are sent down, it's such a disappointment to them, right? They're like, oh, my life's ending. I'm like, you know, I had Carter Verhaeghe in Bridgeport, and we sent him down. He wasn't ready for the AHL. Then he, you know, he learned through the ECHL. He dominated the ECHL. He wasn't here. I think he spent half a year, but you know that helped with his development, his confidence, and he's doing a heck of a job now. So there'll be many more that kind of go through that same path. It's a good league. It is different because you have those older guys who are kind of you know looking to settle down and like, why not come to Orlando, meet a nice lady, and get ready for life after hockey, right? Some of them do that. It's hard to find the ones that are like have that passion for the game, and so you do have to kind of filter through some
So how many veterans like that would you say is the ideal on your roster?
Well, we have 3 vets. You know, it's 260 games played pro. So it's hard for some of these. They come out of college, so you know there's not a ton out there. But I like to have some good leadership on the front end and the back end, and we do have a good bunch of guys that are pulling in the right direction right now. It's hard to find. It's really hard to find, and if you can find good character leaders, it's you know they're worth their weight in gold.
What about Matt? Like I was thinking, you talk about the guys maybe who are getting sent down and it could be crushing for them. And I think about you, right? Being drafted in 99. You didn't get your shot till February of 2000. Was Larry Kelly your first agent?
Yeah.
So I met you at Local Heroes with Larry. Larry introduced it. The summer you got drafted by Montreal, 58th overall. And I met you that summer briefly. You were, well, a Winchester guy. Didn't say more at the time.
Yeah,
but Winchester guy. And so I knew you were Carkner because I knew Terry and I knew Rob. God rest his soul. Right? And so I follow your career. Well, you're in the American Hockey League. Then, you know, year after year after year, like you could speak to these guys because then you finally get called up. Like, yeah, you only do 1 game in San Jose, but you go to Ottawa. And we know we're going to get there talking about that, but I mean, geez, you could speak to that.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's some of it is just timing, right? It's your timing. My second year pro in Cleveland, my coach said, "Hey, just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to get called up any second." Well, then I blew my knee out, and you know they traded a few guys, and it was bad timing, but stuck with it. It's a development league. Like the AHL is a development league. The ECHL is a good development league too. And it's just a stepping stone to each league. So for me, it took me 8 years to kind of really settle in and become a full-time NHLer, but it takes time, especially for defensemen. I get a lot of good young defensemen here, and they're all, you can see they just want to be there. They want to be, you know, an NHLer right away. I'm like, guys, it's nah, you're gonna hate me after the end of the year, but you're gonna like me and you're gonna understand where I'm coming from because it's a process.
And you got an assist in your very first game in San Jose.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember that or not.
I was a point of game for a while.
You're a point of game, man. You're a point of game.
I remember that.
That was the highest points per game. And Milan McCulloch got the goal. I remember that and reading it at one point. But Ottawa is really, you know, where Chris and I would have got to really know you from. I mean, I knew of you, and as I said, I met you with Larry there briefly. But your time in Ottawa, can you speak to what it was like to come? I mean, let's be honest, that's your home city for all intent and purposes. Yeah, you're from the rurals, but I mean, that's your home area. And now you're playing there. You had to have family there every night, obviously, I'm assuming, every home game. And then especially the nature of how you played and yourself and Chris Neal. We're talking about some of the other guys who lent themselves to that. In fact, I'll go out on a limb and say you were right there with the Bruins as the toughest team in the entire league in the time that you were there specifically. And just if you could tell us some of your experiences as you became an Ottawa Senator.
I'll tell you what, you know, just trying out that year, a lot of people wouldn't really follow, but I tried out as a forward. You know, it was Corey Clouston as the coach. He thought the best opportunity for me was to be a forward. And I remember I was playing well as a forward. You know, I fought a little bit, all that kind of stuff. I think Alex Henry was one guy. Sean Thornton was actually gracious enough to, you know, he was already established. And I'm like, hey, Thornton, give me one. He's like, because it's you, Carks, I will. And, you know, we had a good fight. And that goes a long way. And that's how kind of the culture was back then. You know, you tried to help your fellow, like we were Peterborough Pete's, you know, that was our alumni. So he knew me through there.
But I love how you know, as a good friend, you'll punch someone in the face.
Yes, we'll get to that later. Once we get to know each other.
But you're sitting there now, buddy. That's the hockey culture,
Yeah,
though.
no, but no, I know it is.
You know how many people don't understand that?
Yeah.
You know, they don't understand that. They don't understand sometimes, and the game isn't even what was like when you were really going, Matty. It isn't like right now, but it's still there. We talked about it before we started the interview. It's still part of the game.
It totally is. It totally is 100%, and it's a part of the game that I don't think will ever go away. If you lose it, it's just going to change the whole feel of the game.
Absolutely.
But for me, like getting those experiences as a forward, I felt blessed to be in training camp with Ottawa.
Yeah.
You know, my father-in-law before I made the team, unfortunately he passed away. He was the biggest Sens fan ever.
Yeah.
So going through those games, and then one game in particular, Drew Bannister was playing on D, and he's a head coach in St. Louis right now, but he had a tough game. He had a real tough game, so Corey knew I could play D. He's like, Karks, fuck, you're playing D.
Yeah.
And I went back, and the rest is history. I made the team as a defenseman. So, that's another point I have. You got to take your opportunities as they come as young players. Like, you may not be in your ideal position, but you got to find a way to contribute in any way you can. So that was, for me, was unreal. When I made the team, I got to call my mom and tell her, Mom, I'm sticking around this year.
Yeah.
My wife was already moved down in Binghamton with my kids.
No way.
Ready for the minors. She had the kids in school. I left her. It was like a haunted old house. And we got like the hairs on the ends of our necks standing on end the night before I left Ottawa, and it was just a creepy old place I left her in, and I made the team. So she was like, "Oh, well, that's great. The kids are in school. I'm stuck down here in Binghamton, and you're up in Ottawa. That's great." So,
and was your wife from Ottawa originally too?
We're from the same, like, the stone's throw away from each other. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We've been together 20 years. We haven't killed each other yet. So that's it's good.
Small victories.
You know what?
Thank you.
That's one of the greatest things.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: I'll bet she can take you.
Oh, she's tough. I actually fell in love with her. She was doing a self-defense course in front of the entire school, and the guy had all the big protection on. She ripped it all off and beat the crap out of the guy in front of the entire school. It was awesome. So,
right on.
So, that's how we met.
Yeah.
It was good.
Oh, that's,
But yeah, no. So getting to tell my mom, who recently passed away too. Like those years of having family coming into the rink were unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it does it. Hometown guys, they get a little extra energy just having that support. And I was passionate about playing for the Sens. Like I would go through a brick wall for those guys.
Yeah.
And my teammates, like you talked about Chris Neal, like I had all the respect in the world for him. Like in junior, I played against him a lot. Like he just was a worker. He just worked, and that's what he did his whole career.
Yeah.
He found a way, and he tough as nails.
Oh
my
very,
gosh.
very much so. Very tough. Speaking, we've got to just backtrack for a
Yeah.
sec because you said junior. Because I just think of you and I think of Brett Cliché.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Peterborough and Kingston. I mean, everyone was like circling the calendar when you guys were going to play next. Because, I mean, I know you've gotten to know him.
Yeah. No, Brett was funny because I'd be driving in to the games from Peterborough, and our Rick Alani, he was our coach. He'd turn on the radio because Brett Cliché would be doing an interview. He's like, "Oh, Carkner, I'm going to take him tonight. You guys come to the rink tonight. You're going to see me take down Carkner again." And he has a blast. And I'm a pretty reserved, quiet guy, so I don't say much about that. I just take care of business. That's what I did almost every time with Brett. But good man. He was a good man for sure.
Is he?
Well, the theatrics, right? You got to have that. You got to have the razzle dazzle, get the asses in the seats.
Sure, man. Slapshots. Had the ambulance around the rink.
I'm telling you, he was awesome at that. He was a character. Man. We went to a couple of those combines together. Like I think with Montreal, actually, we were there together.
Okay.
And he was a character.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a character.
Yeah.
Just had to try to keep him out of the bar. That was the only thing.
That tough chore there.
Yeah.
Tough chore there. But he is a beauty.
Absolutely.
He's an absolute beauty. Well, look, we got to talk about it. It's my big thing with you is that 39-second shift in 2012 Game 2 against the Rangers. But most people here would be watching us, would be familiar with us. But the way it was, Matt, as I understand it, you can jump in. You did not dress Game 1. And Brian Boyle did a speed bag on Erik Karlsson, like he did. If you're at the game, you saw it. It was apparent, and you dressed Game 2. Did you, in your mind, was your mind set that?
Oh yeah. No, whenever I saw that happen live, we were fuming in the dressing room. It was me and Zen and Konopka were watching, and we're like, oh my gosh, this can't happen. And the next game, we knew we had to, fight back into the series.
Yeah.
And I think Paul grabbed me and me and Z talked, and Paul had to sit down with me and Z, and he's like, listen, this can't happen. I'm like, I'll take care of it. That's all I said to Paul. And Z looked at me, he's like, okay, you got it? I'm like, yeah, I got it. Don't worry about it. And my plan was just to challenge Boyle, right?
Yeah.
And just make sure that he knew he's not going to push anyone around.
Yeah.
And when you get it, like, I'm the same way. When I come in between periods as a coach, I'll come in with a game plan, what I'm going to do. But then when something happens in the room and I see someone with, not the right demeanor or something, my emotions get going and I get fired up. So
good.
Off the face-off, I went to Boyle. I'm like, I'm coming after you. Like, be ready. Protect yourself.
Yeah.
And I gave him a shot off the face-off, and then I went back to my position.
Yeah.
Play happened. I forget. I think he hit Zach Smith.
Yeah,
and
he did.
I came in and I just
down in the corner.
Yeah,
and down in the corner. But he tried to back away. Like, he tried not to take the fight. Like, come on, buddy.
I know, and that's the thing. I gave him fair warning. I'm like, you're 6'7".
I know. Come on.
260 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, just hold on at least. So I was infuriated, and so I just did what I did.
Yeah.
It was a melee and all that other stuff, and I wanted to inflict some damage. Not gonna lie to you, I really did. But my teammates jumped in. It was a big pile.
Yeah.
And then at the aftermath, when I got the 5-minute major, I was like, oh boy, I hope the boys will rally around me. And oh boy, did they ever! They did a hell of a job. And,
they did.
Like Fish and Neeler and Alfie, all those guys, like they got the job done, killed off the penalty, and we won the game.
Yeah.
And the best thing ever was, I was a little bit nervous about what Paul would have thought of that because he never told me anything what to do. I just did it.
Yeah.
Right. And he just came in and he said that was absolutely outstanding and gave me the fist pump, and I was thrilled because all you want to do is help your team.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes if that would have went the other way, which I don't think it would have, usually when
always a risk.
there is a risk, but you got to take the chance. So I thought it was the right thing to do at the right time, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Well, it's 39 seconds is what it took, and he got kicked out of the game. Got a 1-game suspension.
Yeah.
And
I got 2 games.
Oh, did you get a 2-game?
I got 2-gamer. Yeah.
You got 2-game. Okay.
Yeah, I got 2 games. My debate was exactly that. Like, he could have protected himself.
Absolutely.
And he could have grabbed himself, and but it was 2 games, and what people don't know is I could barely walk up and down the ramp of the MSG at that point. So 2 games, my knee was mangled.
Oh yeah.
And I was fighting through that. So 39 seconds was great.
Yes, my work here is done.
Yeah.
Well, we got, and I mean, that's all well and good. We got the pugilistic side mostly out of the way, but I mean, you also jump in the Ottawa Senator record books for, of all things, scoring a goal, triple overtime.
Yeah.
God, could you just explain that one to me? It's just the game's going on. I don't know what type of ice time you were getting there in OT. I can't really recall, but can you tell us?
Yeah. Well, that game was, geez, we were well matched up against that team, and I think looking back at it, that's the biggest regret, not getting past the first round. Because I think if we got past the first round in any one of those series, who knows what happens, right? And it was a hard-fought series. That game, we were down. We're trying to fight back in the series, and we get to overtime. And for me, like, what you probably don't know is I had more chances than I had probably all year to score goals in those 3 overtimes.
Wow.
I was up on the rush. I was joining the rush. I was just playing more offensive than anyone would ever expect.
Yeah.
And I couldn't score. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I'm not going to score today, like, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So just happened to be, triple OT. Guys are in, like, getting IVs, trying to hydrate. It was just, terrible. I think Eric Carlson played 46 minutes that game. I was probably around 30.
Right.
That game. For me, is crazy. Like, on a regular night, I think during that year, I was probably playing 20 would be my max. But we were just exhausted. Everyone was exhausted. So we hopped over the boards, and I looked at, I think it was Sutton, and I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, big Sutton.
I don't know if we can keep going here.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, I was on the recipient end of a pass from Alfie, and I just closed my eyes and shot. Hit Matt Cook in the ass and went in the net, and I was happy. I was happy, very happy. It took me a while to register until everyone came to me and started cheering, But listen, that's what I tell guys. You never know when your moment's going to come, and for me, it was a great moment for me. I was I always look at we should have won that series. It bugs me when people talk about the series because I scored a triple OT. Goal. That's great.
Exactly.
But we didn't win the cup. Let's win the cup. But no, I'm forever grateful for that opportunity, and it doesn't happen a lot, right? So I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, well, it's not very many scored in triple OT ever, let alone from the Ottawa Senators' perspective. So you jump in the books in a couple of different ways there, man. It's absolutely fantastic. You go to the Islanders, and nobody wanted to see you go here. That was when I say here, we're in Orlando right now, but you know what I mean, from Ottawa.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to see you go. So many people were upset. But before I'm going to circle back to the Condors.
Yeah.
But before that, tell us about the transition to the island and.
Yeah. No, listen, that was a bittersweet one because Brian Murray, God rest his soul, he was open and honest with me, and he only wanted to do a year deal, and I was in the AHL for years and years and years, and this is the only time I was a free agent, and I really just wanted a 2-year deal. I wasn't looking for a ton of money. Just wanted a 2-year deal, and he couldn't commit to it. So we hit the open market. I got a 3-year deal for way more than I ever would have expected.
It was a great contract.
Yeah, for me, that's never going to get that ever again in my life. So it was bittersweet, because I respected Paul and I respected, the team, and I had multiple talks with Brian. Larry at the time was saying, don't talk to Brian, and then it got a little hairy. I'm like, listen, I'm just going to talk to Brian and figure this out, because I didn't want any stigma there, because I respected everything they did for me in Ottawa. But going to the island was a transition, definitely. But I got to know Gar Snow and some of the guys on the team fairly quickly, like Eric Bolton, what a beauty he is, and we got along great when we got together there. We fought each other a couple times in Ottawa, and he says he got the better of me on one, but I'm like, because the first one I knocked you out, right? But no, we got along great. My career, my 3 years there, my first year was cut in half because of the lockout. And then we got back in. We made playoffs first time in a long time, and it was a real cool environment. We lost it again in the first round, but that Coliseum was rocking. They have a culture there that is incredible.
Well, you can see how they were fueled still from a couple generations before.
I think the tickets were. You get tickets for like $13 when I was playing there.
Really?
It was great. Like some nights it was dead, but as we went on in the season, we made playoffs. That place was rocking. The Coliseum was crazy.
Wow.
And now UBS. I haven't been there yet, but they've got such a great following. Fans are passionate. Obviously, history galore there. The people you get to know Clark Gillies, you get to know Trotz, you get to know all these guys. Billy Smith. We had some alumni weekends. And, oh boy,
they're great guys.
They told stories oh my gosh, and Clark Gillies, one of the best human beings.
I know.
On the planet.
Just
so
devastating
sad.
losing him. Boss, I mean, and Denny Potvin's brother Jean was an Islander as well. They all went within a few months of each other. It goes, man, you got to enjoy the ride, man.
Yeah, no, and I was blessed. I didn't have a great personal career in the island, but I loved my time there. They brought me right in with open arms, and part of the alumni, part of the staff post hockey.
Great.
That's how I got into
that joined into Bridgeport, right?
Yeah.
Transition
I talked to Snowy. I had a couple of beers with him at a sushi restaurant. He's like, "What do you want for your coaching contract?" I'm like, "Give me 2 years as a player coach, and then we'll get into it." And he was great with that, and it helped me ease into the post hockey career. But the people there, I have the utmost respect for, and good time there. 2 of the 3 years were in playoffs. And then I got into coaching right after.
So let me ask you this, because I, as a Bruins fan, but a Sens fan, local, I look at you and I associate you with a Sens jersey, right? And you've spent as much time in a Islander jersey, right? If someone says, "Okay, we're having an alumni game, Islanders against the Senators," where do you lace up?
I've got to go with the Sens. Unfortunately, for the Isles fans, I'm sure they'd really be heartbroken because they don't have a lot of players to cheer for. But no, I definitely that's where my home is, and I had my best years there. I'm not a fool. There were some great moments in Ottawa and great people, and that's where all my family and friends are. So
Wow, you know,
sure.
there you have it, folks. You know what? Matt Carkner doesn't like New York.
Yeah, exactly. yeah.
I'm just shit disturbing. So you have more questions? I'm
Yes,
sure.
just a few.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, just a few. I want to get if you can talk about the Condors
Yeah.
and your involvement
Yeah.
with them, and I know others have stepped up in after you left, but what gave you the impetus to do that?
I don't know that obviously my upbringing, right?
Yeah.
You know, my family, you're a product of your environment. My dad and mother, like, they always taught me to give back to the community. So
Yeah.
whenever I got a little bit of a platform, I always tried to give back, whether it was, you know, Toys for Tots. We did Kark's Christmas, where we work with big brothers and big sisters, give kids what they need and what they would want as well.
Yeah.
Like, through the years, I just given back. So when I got to Ottawa, you know, I'm relatively a new player, and I just wanted to get involved with the community in some way, because that's my hometown, right? So I met Jim Perkins through my agent Larry Kelly.
Okay.
And we had coffee and we hit it off, and he told me about their program. They had about 27 kids
Yeah.
who they worked with special needs hockey, and it was
Yeah.
something new, and they're trying to start up, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get behind that. That's pretty awesome. So my first skate, I was hooked. The kids were amazing. They were so passionate, because before that they weren't able to get on the ice. They were
Right.
just able to watch their siblings play, and like, why can't I play? Well, Jim provided them that opportunity, and I'll tell you what, every time on the ice they were winning the Stanley Cup. It was incredible. It was
Some
incredible.
of the
gosh.
videos of it is pretty amazing.
Oh,
man.
that's awesome.
I went out the one time. I don't know if you remember or not. They asked me.
Yeah.
They called me, asked me to go out, and I went out, did a little something. But I mean, your involvement, and then it's continued.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's kudos, man.
Oh yeah,
You
well,
know?
Turris, and then
Yeah.
Boro, who I just
Yeah.
saw this last.
There's another beauty
oh
right
my
there.
gosh!
man.
Yeah, he's working with the Nashville now.
Right.
And I met him. They were doing the rookie tournament down here in Estero,
Okay.
Florida. So I ran into all those guys, and
Yeah.
man, they all are passionate about the Condors still, and they
Yeah.
give back as much as they can. I don't get to do as much as I used to, because I've been down here in Florida, but
Yeah.
you know, I pipe up here and there and make sure I keep tabs on the kids and Jim and what they're doing. So they're doing incredible things. I think the team, when I started, was, what did I say, 27 or so kids. Last time I heard, they have like waiting lists of, like, you know,
Yeah.
200 kids trying to get involved,
Really?
and they have 3 teams in
Well, because
three
no one
different
ever
areas.
would have thought
Yeah.
that there'd be an opportunity
Yeah.
for these kids, and
Yeah.
and because you jumped in, you know, they were already trying to get the program going. Someone like you, and like you said, Tourist, Boral, these guys that came along after. I don't know, it's just Brady right now, or who it is, but it's some.
Yeah, I don't know who's involved right now. I
It's
got to
so-
talk to.
It's somebody though,
Yeah.
because I remember last year they came back from a game or something. They went right to the Condors thing.
Yeah.
But can't exactly remember who that was. But anyways, it's just fantastic stuff. Your head coach in Bridgeport, Brent
Thompson.
Thompson. Did you played against him? Did you not?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hardest cross checker you'll ever meet.
He, yeah. He's
he-
had a rep in
Oh
the
yeah,
A.
yeah, oh yeah. No, I knew of him and Rocky Thompson. They were both on Hershey Bears.
Right.
So the first time I was a rookie, I went and played them. I'm like, who are these Thompson guys? Like, oh yeah, watch out. So I challenged Brent,
Yeah.
and he cross-checked me as hard as he could 5 times in my arm, and I couldn't lift my arm. And he's like, "You still want to go?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." Oh. But no, he was my head coach as a player. He was my assistant coach as a player with the Islanders. And when I came down to Bridgeport, he was my head coach, and then I was his assistant coach
Right.
for a little while there. Now he's in Anaheim with Cronin, who
Yeah.
you know, it's, you know, they got their work cut out for them, but
Yeah.
it's a young, talented group they get to work with, and I'm just happy for him to get back to the NHL.
You guys both won the Yannick Dupree.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah, that's weird. Tough guys.
Yeah.
We're good people.
Good
Sometimes.
community guys. Goes back to what
Sometimes.
Chris
Yeah,
said,
there we go,
you know,
sometimes.
a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's
What
funny
is
how it works.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
That's true, man. Whether you get into coaching or the tough guys get involved in community
Oh.
events and things
Well,
of that
you know what?
nature. We
Here's the
won a
thing.
community award, and Brent Thompson won a community. It was the exact same one.
As a general rule, I found that the tough guys
Yeah.
are generally not the assholes.
No.
Yeah, that's
No.
good. Good to hear.
No,
there's
they're
a few.
not.
Are there?
Yeah,
really
well,
been too
Donald
many.
Brashear would probably be at the top of that list. I don't know. Just not going to tell you any names out of school. You fought him too.
Yeah,
Actually, he was
times.
your first regular season fight ever.
That's right. Yeah. Luke Richardson actually talked to me about fighting him. Gave me a few tips. So
Did he?
that was good. Yeah, it helped
Yeah.
me out a little bit.
Brash the lefty.
Yeah. Well, he just gets you in. And
He gets in. He goes to.
So my first one, it's a little bit of Secret Service training. We got to do with the sentence too, but I just palmed him right in the face until he was stretched right out, and then I got him with a couple good ones, and he went down. So it was helpful. Luke helped me through
Attaboy,
that.
Luke.
Yeah,
Look at Luke coming through.
It's coach, right?
Yeah, coaching, hey? It's all about coaching. Ottawa guy taking care of an Ottawa guy.
Absolutely.
You know? There you go. I was wondering about Brent because I remember hearing about him in the American Hockey League, and he had a rep. And I said, well, Matty maybe must have gone him. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh,
But, like you just missed Jerry Fleming, I think, and
Yeah.
some of those guys. But I don't want to belabor the point, but you're just starting your first year pro as Bob Probert's retiring out of the NHL. And you know, I get asked this all the time. And now you played the role. You played, 250 games in the NHL, 15 years pro, and playoffs, NHL, everything else, the Brian Boyle thing and stuff. But so would a guy like you, would you look back at and even though you didn't get a chance to play against him or certainly fight him, but does he hold a certain regard for you in terms of his reputation and what he did for the role, I think, too, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. Growing up, I was a Red Wings fan because I couldn't stand, Montreal and Toronto. I don't know. And when the Sens weren't around when I was young, so I followed Detroit because of Stevie Y, and then obviously you see Proby out there, and you're like, oh boy, this guy knows what he's doing, and produced, and and had that respect, and could he'd go through a brick wall, but he was one of those guys that you follow, and that I respected. They don't make them like that anymore. No, they don't. And it's such a sad story, to hear him go. But man, when he played, he was all in. Yeah, there's no toe dipping with him. That's for sure.
No. And also, Matt, as we wind down here, I've had the good pleasure to meet your dad. Yeah. And I know he's as we're taping this here, he's coming in tomorrow night, which is awesome. That car rally, we did a car rally. Charity car rally. I won't go into all the details, but anyways, let's just say it was in the rurals. We kind of acted like we were in the rurals, which is right up my alley too, Chris. As you know,
I had no idea.
I know, shocker there. Yeah. But Winchester, I know you say Morewood, but Winchester. I don't notice as well. Like you fought Max Weger. He played Junior B for the Winchester Hawks. You're fighting a guy who played for the Hawks, for God's sake. But I mean, just maybe speak to Morewood and Winchester and what those communities meant for you growing up.
Oh yeah, well, honestly, like I was from Morewood, like originally, so Winchester was a big town to me. Yeah. So I was going through public school. I had 7 kids in my class, so we knew everyone. My dad was a big community guy, so he started his business from the ground up, and we were kind of integrated into the community. But everyone supports each other. Everyone follows each other, their careers, where they're going, whether it's sports or otherwise. Yeah. But for me, like I had a tremendous amount of respect and support from everyone in the community. And when I came back from whether it's junior or pro, just everyone just loves to talk and sit and tell stories and have a cold one here and there, even in the car rallies.
Yes, the car rallies.
Roads, especially Mr. D,
Especially angling with Mr. D.
Yeah, but no, they're all good people, good salt of the earth people, and I haven't been back enough, but when I do go back, it's, everyone's very, very happy to sit and have a good conversation. And just like you said, the car ride, like the support for that was tremendous.
Unreal.
I think after we did it 3 years, and I think we raised over $300,000 for the hospital. That's pretty outstanding for a small community.
And Terry Carkner was there. So you guys are what, third cousins or something?
We're like third cousins. Yeah, I don't know. We had the same
last
go
name
back
anyway.
up through.
Actually, it's through it's through Brian Helmer is actually closer related to Terry.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And me and Brian are cousins and
right.
brother-in-laws. Yeah,
so. Cousins and brother-in-laws.
Yeah, watch out. It's small town.
Okay, you know what? We're going to stop this right here. We get to the ancestry DNA stuff here. Turns out that, So I've got
Two cousins married two sisters.
That's
okay?
right.
There's no relation.
You know what? I know.
Just
And you know
relax.
what? I get that because I have the same thing in my
Okay,
family.
there you go.
There you
same
go.
stuff.
There you go.
Small towns.
Small towns. Can't beat them.
Exactly.
Can't beat them.
So you're not only a coach now, you're a dad
Yeah.
/ trying to, you don't want to coach your kid, right? But you want to mentor him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So tell me what it's like having a kid, because my understanding is your son's a prospect.
Yeah.
Right? Well, no, don't be fucking.
It's
like,
okay.
Oh, I'm gonna be nonchalant about it. You know what I mean? If you're gonna, be proud. And you say,
No,
yeah,
I am.
you know what?
Both of my boys are doing the best they can with what they got.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask for is the compete, the passion's there. The skill and all that is something we work on all the time.
Yeah.
But for me as a dad, I'm always happy, but it is hard to separate the coach from the dad.
Yeah.
And they will give me cues because I was on the bench for my son. He was a mid-Fairfield player. We went to the Nationals a few years ago, and I got to coach because I was off working with. I was let go by the Islanders and was kind of in between. Best time of my life, coaching my kid and seeing him develop. But we built a kind of a dialogue. I found if I was really hard on him, he'd start playing better. So
Wow.
A lot of fathers find that.
Oh yeah, but then the
Wow.
problem is after a while that wore off,
Yeah.
and then I got the look. So
Yeah.
we figured each other out, and that's all it is just figuring out when to draw the line. I let him have some time after the game, and I usually only give him like one kind of tip. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to overcoach the kid. It's up to him. He's got to figure it out. If he doesn't want it, he's not going to take it anywhere.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I can only help him out so much, and if he tries to play like me, he's probably not going very far because he's got to know how to skate and how to handle a puck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's a new game. It's fast. They're both doing the best they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good though.
Yeah.
You're gonna be happy about that.
Oh, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
there's nothing better than going on the ice with my boys. They come here
No.
and they skate with this team,
Yeah.
and they fit in. They're
Yeah.
they're good players. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. To
Well,
see.
you coached
Oh,
your
that's
son. I coached my son. I
absolutely.
mean, was it not the best? It was the best.
You know what?
It was the absolute
I
best.
have to admit, it was good times. And
Yeah.
I always had my challenge was always. I didn't say he would say to me, Dad, you got to get me to do this, but you got to tell me more. And I was always like, you got to,
Figure
I
it
can't, I can't, So I don't know. What did I fuck up a lot? Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Should I done this, more of that, less of this? Yeah, of course. But you know what? When when your kid goes out and he scores a goal and he comes back with that smile.
Yeah.
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 Like
Yeah.
you can't
That's
buy
the
that.
best.
Like
No,
you know what I
you
mean? You can't buy that kind of pride.
Just with teammates, what hockey instills, everything that hockey instills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just backing each other up. And winning as a team, losing as a team. You learn so much from losing too.
Absolutely.
But it's oh God, I 13 years and I loved every second of it.
Oh yeah,
Every
I wish I
solid
could have
second
done
of
it longer. But that's what we do. Like our identity videos we do here with the Solar Bears. It's not about the highlights. It's about pointing, like being proud of your teammate for making that play. Guys
Yeah.
sticking up for each other,
There you
blocking
go.
shots. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, being a good teammate. So for my kids to see them kind of doing that and
Yeah.
they're trying to pull in the right direction character-wise, that makes me happy, more happy than anything.
So let me ask you this question. You spent some time in the A, spent some time in the NHL. There's got to be one or two memorable stories from the road. And you know what? We can change the names to protect the identities.
Well, I don't know if I've already told this. I don't know if I want to let this cat out of the bag. Anyways, Neeler's a big prankster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Neeler, you're not watching this, I hope. But there was one night where we get off the plane, we get in the bus, and we go to the hotel. I was the first one there, and they always have the keys laid out for us. In each pamphlet, there's 2 keys. So I took one of Neeler's keys and just left his in. So he thought, he just has his key, goes to his room. So I waited. We're gonna go meet for dinner, and I waited for him to leave, and I got in his room, obviously, and yeah, his mattress was in his bathroom. All the light bulbs were taken out. I had the closet door wedged, and then I put a full bucket of water on top of the closet.
No way.
On the outside of the door, I put toothpaste. So my thought was, he's going to open the door. He's going to be like, "What the hell is this?" Walk into the closet door, the water falls down. I had it planned out real well.
Yeah.
So then, it happens. Days go on, and he's quiet. He's quiet. Like he's pissed off in the dressing room, and I know why, but no one else knows why, because he gets everyone. No one gets Chris. And he pulled me aside one day. He's like, "Carks, did you do my room?" And he looks mad. I'm like, "No, sir. No, no, sir." So he's been trying to figure that one out for quite a while, and I'm confessing. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
It was me.
Yeah.
It was me.
This is
breaking news.
Breaking news.
You mean to this day he still doesn't know?
I don't think he knows it was me. No.
Oh,
he might have his suspicions, but he was still
Because he
looking
asked you
after
and you denied it.
I denied
which is
it.
a way to do it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I gotta
Denial
live
is
with it.
not just a river in Egypt.
Absolutely.
Right.
And he went around, and I could tell he was fishing for it. But that was the one time I got him.
Oh,
because
that's awesome.
He would do some good ones, man. He was
like
really,
what? Like tell one of his.
Well, he would get a jack under your car and lift it up so the wheels are off like that much. So when you go to put it in reverse, zzz, like your car doesn't go anywhere. He'd sew your pant pocket shut with all your crap in it, right? Your keys and all that. I think he even glued shoes to the floor one time.
Well,
He
you know what?
does all
I'm
kinds
actually
of stuff.
impressed
Oh
that
my
Chris Neal
God.
sews.
Yeah, no. Well, he probably had someone. He might.
I
have
got
had
the trainer.
He probably had a trainer. Do it.
One of the trainers, yeah.
Yeah, but no, he was full of good ones.
Oh,
He was, and that's just I'm sure a small list of what he did for sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good question.
yeah.
So you guys
good,
are
buddy.
really mature, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Hey, man.
That, and you haven't even. I'm sure you heard of stupid money. Like guys would.
With the string.
Yeah, well, Eric Bolton in Long Island. They went to Morton's, and they have these huge baked potatoes on display. Yeah. Well, he ate his full meal, like a full ribeye meal, and then I guess Cold Chuck said, "Hey, Bolts, how much for you to eat that potato raw?" And they put up money, like, "Here, you moron, eat this, and if you finish it, we'll give you all this money." So he ate probably a 5-pound raw baked potato for money, for entertainment. This is what these morons do. So are we really that mature players? But you gotta have fun, right? When you're
Well, this is the
Gotta
thing.
have
is-
you gotta unwind, and it's stupid stuff like that that kind of
Yeah.
brings you back to it for sure.
Well, okay. So fine. Yeah, are you done? Are you finished? Are you through?
I think I'm just about
Okay.
done, yeah.
So we have a question that we've been asking everybody, and you seem like you're kind of a man about town, right? You're going up. So when you go out on Saturday night, like non-game night, to karaoke,
Oh yeah.
what's the go-to song?
Oh jeez. Well, this is for my. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. But Dolly Parton and
Kenny Rogers,
Kenny
Islands in the
yes,
Stream.
Islands in the Stream.
Yeah?
Me and my sister-in-law Pam.
Yes.
That's our go-to.
Yeah.
So I do it with Helmers all the time. We
Okay.
do karaoke. So that's the one song she always is like. I don't know why, but she picks me, and I'm Kenny. She's Dolly. We do
There
a
you
great
go.
job.
There you
Great
go.
job,
There you
know?
go.
You know what? I got to tell you something. Even though you were going blank, you were the best. You've been the best answer so far.
Oh, thank you.
Not only did you know the artist, you know the like. It's just I'm
Okay,
telling you.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Can you
Thank
do a few bars?
I could, but this
I can
nose
drink in a
doesn't
few
tune
bars.
very well. Right? We have to have a lot of background noise and all that.
Well, I can
Yeah.
tell you one thing. This nose has been tuned a few times. My mouth gets me into that trouble.
Yeah, I'm taking
Well,
a
listen,
shot.
this has been absolutely fantastic. I got to thank you. Most appreciated. for
Thanks,
your
Mark.
time.
Marks. Thank you.
Very much
Thank you.
appreciated,
It's,
buddy.
and
Much
this has been
appreciated.
Offside with Haas McGuire. I'm Haas.
I'm McGuire.
That's Carkner.
G'day.
Hey, welcome back. So again, that was our interview with Matt Carkner, and what a sweet guy. Really, really nice guy. I truly hope that he progresses. I'd like to see him stay in Orlando because it's a nice place to have your family and everything
Absolutely.
like that.
Yeah.
But he obviously has ambition
No
to become
question.
a head coach in the American League and then a head coach in the NHL.
Absolutely.
Right. So I do, Matt. I wish you all the best. I hope that you do, get both the American League and the NHL. And just remember, who your fucking friends are. That's all I'm saying. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. But when I come down to Orlando, I want to go to the games. Like I want to go.
Well, I think he made that quite apparent.
Yeah, he did,
Anytime
yeah.
we're there,
Yeah.
we've got carte blanche. And the irony, of course, was the Spit and Chicklets guys were coming in the next
They were
night
coming the next night. Yeah, he does talk about
for
that.
a big promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, he talked about that. Yeah. So
And listen, I'm all for the Spit and Chiclet guys. Like honestly, you know what? To be honest, like they've got to start being for us. So that's all I'm saying. Because there's not a lot of reciprocal fucking relationship.
well, we'll see. I've got a tiny relationship with Biz, so maybe this summer, you know, I'll be able I'll figure something out. I do like what he did say. I didn't write this down or anything, but the university men's team, University of New Brunswick, just won.
Right. I just yeah.
umpteenth title. They didn't lose a game.
Yeah.
They didn't lose a game all year. They didn't get scored on in the finals.
Yeah.
They didn't get scored on, Chris. Forget about losing a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if there's enough being said about this. So Biz is suggesting that they play an exhibition game against whoever wins NCAA, the Frozen Four.
You know what? I think it's a great idea.
And he says that they'll put up the money.
Yeah, he'll put up the money.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, what money?
Well, I mean, you'd have to, there'd be some costs. I mean, who knows? I mean, could you fly? You'd have to fly people into a common rink, decide where you're going to play.
So
you're going to play in Canada, you're going to play in the States. Where
You do it in New Brunswick. You're doing it in New Brunswick because
because the NCAA should be favored because they're well, I don't know. I mean, why would you do it in New Brunswick automatically though?
Oh, because you got the fan base. You got people who are going to.
I know, but you're playing an NCAA team. They're going to say, "What about our barn?"
Yeah, their barn, and you know what? They're not going to get. You think that they're going to play a Canadian team? You think they're going to get the numbers that New Brunswick's going to get?
I think you would. Are you kidding? Have you built this UNB hadn't lost all year? Can you imagine? I mean, it's never going to happen. You know, that's because it's not. It won't. It'll never be sanctioned. It would never be sanctioned. It'll never happen.
You know what? You just get the same guys, okay?
Yeah.
And you create a summer hockey league.
Yeah.
Okay, the summer hockey.
Not going to happen.
You know,
but it's a great thought, and UNB deserves a credit. Like more than credit. This is something unbelievable. What's going on there?
Yeah.
Like we had a window in here with basketball. We talked earlier in the show about basketball with Dave Smart and Carleton University.
That's right.
What he did nationally with that team is unbelievable. This is the first year in 20 years the Carleton Ravens didn't make the playoffs. In 20 years. That's unfreaking heard of. And in that time period, I think they won, 11, 12 championships? I don't even know how many.
Right.
I mean, these are national championships. It was unfreaking believable what Dave Smart and that program was.
But you know what? The Ottawa U program was also...
Wasn't that?
It was pretty close.
No.
They were good.
No.
They were up there. Yes, they would.
No.
They would compete. They
could compete, but they didn't win 11 or 12 or 7 consecutive or whatever it was. They didn't come anywhere near that.
Yes, but they were as good as an NCAA team.
Well, who knows?
In basketball.
Who knows?
Carleton was.
Again, there was...
They would have Carleton University used to have NCAA teams come up.
No, I know all that. I know that. They played them and they beat a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know how, who was playing, starters, whatever. They're exhibition games. Like there was people were saying, why not take the Canadian national champion and put them in the play-in games, before you get into the grouping of 64 there. Have the play-in, those last spots, have a Canadian team compete in one of those and, see what happens. I would have loved had Carleton had that opportunity.
Can you imagine if a Canadian university had the money for athletics that a U.S. fucking NCAA?
No, it's a game changer. Let's be honest. They're game changers down there.
Do you remember? So UNB, going back to hockey.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, they're the school that brought in Danton to play after he got out of jail. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. It was definitely an Atlantic province.
Yeah, I thought it was UNB, to be honest with you.
Oh,
and he only played for he played for a year and a half or something.
I think you may be right.
School.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know if that was the start of the program. They realized, we can actually attract some decent talent here. Or what what it is.
Success breeds success, but it has to start somewhere. And I don't know what's going on there. But I know Austin Keating from the Ottawa 67s was a key component of this year's team. I saw his interview and him talking about just what they had going on. It really is something. We're removed from it here, and it's not front page news, even in sports. It got a cursory mention on all the sports desks and whatnot.
Isn't that sad?
Kind of, I think, because well, it's university hockey, so it won't get anywhere near the play the Memorial Cup will,
Right. Most players, they want, if you look at the average age of players on an NCAA team, okay, the younger players are 20. Like, so they actually come, post a junior career, like granted, junior A tier 2.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
CJHL, whatever it is. They come after that. So they're seasoned hockey players when they get there.
Yeah.
They've been coached. And those leagues, that CJHL league here, and that's in Ontario, but out west, it's the Western Hockey League, you know what I mean? And that's the Humboldt guys and everything. Those guys are coached well.
Yeah.
And they're developed. So when they get to the NCAA and they get to these places and they're on their scholarships and they're getting their education and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, these are the best of the best. And that's why the NCAA is a good... it's a good league, and everybody says it's better that an NCAA.
Well, the majority of players that are drafted that make the NHL still come from Canadian Major Junior.
Right.
So that's a fact. So it's not the NCAA. So the NCAA, I still think, is getting as much as it's developed in the last 20 or 30 years, and it has.
Are you of the belief that, and I heard this just the other day, a lot of people believe that an NCAA Div 1 team would beat a major junior team so if you were to stack
I think the age difference would be the deciding factor.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think they'd beat the Memorial Cup winners. No, I don't think they would. I think the Memorial Cup winner would beat whoever wins Div 1 NCAA. Yeah,
I'd like to see that.
So would I.
Another one.
So would I.
Biz. Listen, Spittin' Chicklets, we don't have the money to back this kind of thing, but you do, okay? So either give us the money so we can back it, or you start doing it.
We'll have a series of meetings, and then we'll get back to you, and
absolutely.
Our secretary will do your secretary at lunch, and then we'll get things going.
Now, speaking of leagues,
okay.
So this was this past week, and this week now as well, are the leagues that I'm in, okay? The finals. So the over 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over 90, as it's affectionately referred to.
Well, it's the U65.
Yeah.
It's U65. Okay. The U65 league had their championship this week. Right?
Yeah.
So we played Tuesday, Friday, and we had a couple of playoff games, but Tuesday, Friday, and then Saturday was the championship.
Right.
Okay. Now, unfortunately, I was unable to play.
Sure.
I'm still
recovering. My God.
Recovering.
Yeah.
Okay. But I was dying.
Yeah.
I was dying.
Well, it had to be tough to go and watch, for God's sake, Chris.
And I'm there, I'm watching, and I was behind the bench. Listen, there were some key moves I made.
No doubt about it.
All right.
Yeah.
But so I'm behind the bench, but I wanted to be on the ice.
Nobody shut down Jimmy Cooper. You got to shut down Jimmy Cooper.
Do you know what? Jimmy has hands, right?
He's got hands.
He's
always had hands.
He's got hands.
He's had his own health issues.
Yeah.
And he's had some cancer, and he's had some things, and he's had his own health issues. There he is out there. Boy, he was parading that trophy around.
He's very
like
proud
it
of
was
that
the
trophy.
Stanley Cup.
So he beat my team.
I know.
He beat my team, and I wasn't there.
Yeah, I think it's a difference if you're on the ice. You're not going to say it, but I will. I know that for a fact. If you're playing in that game, I think maybe it's a different outcome.
Well, do you know what? I don't know not in the shape that I'm in. Like, not in the physical.
Not right now.
Yeah.
But let's turn the clock back like 3 months.
Oh,
give me Chris Hawes from November and December.
Yeah,
Right,
just right after the stroke. Let's go back to September.
I just roll it back to before
to September.
Yeah.
Okay, I came out of the gate pretty strong. No.
Yeah.
You know what? I would have made an impact. I can't say that I would have been a game changer.
Yeah.
Okay. If other people want to say that, they can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to sound arrogant. But you know what I said? So Friday night, we're going in. We got the championship game. We're at the pub because you know what I mean. We're in training.
Yeah.
Okay. So Friday night, and I'm like, do I play tomorrow? Like I can take just a couple of shifts. Right. I'm thinking to myself, play a couple shifts, see what I can do because. I know I can score, but I don't know if I can, whatever. Yeah. And the guy's, well, you shouldn't, you know what I mean, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, but and this chick goes to me, well, fuck, don't you sound like a douche? To me. And I go, what? And she was there with one of the guys on the team. She goes, and he goes, fuck, you don't understand, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's our top fucking scorer. He's, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But I could see somebody who doesn't know when I'm saying to the other guys on the team, like, do I play? Like, what do you want me to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. But I guess it came off sounding pretty fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shoresy, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I gave my balls a tug and I said, no, I'm not going to play. So I didn't play. I was there and we ended up losing and it was devastating. I fucking hate losing.
Yeah.
I fucking hate losing.
It's always tough
Okay.
for an hour or so
know,
to your third pint.
And then I'm in Barhaven League, and the finals are this week.
Right.
And we're not in the championship. So
Yeah.
But on the over 40 league, so the U50 league.
Yeah.
Okay. In the U50 league. Okay.
Much more competitive, let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh, it's way faster, and there's like way more shit happening, right? Like there's a lot.
Yeah.
Like there are guys who are still jacked up on testosterone. Like by the time you're playing the U65, like there's a lot of testosterone depletion.
Yeah.
There's a lot, there are a few altercations here and there,
Yeah.
but generally not, but it's going to be, so I'm actually going to go out for a few shifts tonight because I'm going to give it a try. We'll see what happens.
Good.
And then, because if we win tonight, we go on to the A final. We can win the championship.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
this is what Quentin's team?
yeah, it's Quincy.
Yeah.
So
this
Bubba's
is Bubba.
On the team. Bubba's on the team.
Yeah.
Right.
What time's the game?
11 o'clock.
Oh.
It's 11 o'clock game. So I have.
I thought it was 10.
No, I thought it was 10 too, but I looked again. It's 11 o'clock.
Okay.
But sure, come. I mean, at the end of the day, it's.
I'm leaving tomorrow morning early for Quebec City. Go see my mom.
Okay.
So,
Well, then, okay. All right.
But
So.
I'll
it's
see
not
the.
like the first time you fucking stayed up all night and you left for somewhere.
Well, it might be.
So
Let me check my watch.
listen. 11 o'clock game, 12 o'clock, we go to the pub.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And they stay open for. This is what I love about a small town. Okay.
Yeah.
So we go to the pub.
They know you're coming.
They know we're coming.
Yeah.
Right. And so I walk in, and Kelly, who is one of the servers.
Yeah.
Right?
Outstanding.
Okay.
She's awesome.
She meets me. As soon as I literally I
Hands
get
you
to
your
the
drink.
table
Yeah.
and she hands me my Gretz.
Yeah.
And I have double Gretzky neat. Okay.
Yeah.
And a Coke. Okay, because I'm driving.
Yeah.
And not.
Oh, by the way, not a Pepsi.
That's right. Okay. But so she there, and I love that.
Yeah.
Right? And she knows whatever other guys, so we go there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the question is am I getting wings or not?
Right.
That's the big question.
Yeah.
And I struggle.
Yeah.
With that.
It's got to be a tough decision before you say yes.
Oh, absolutely. It's, you know what? It's almost the same decision that Abraham had to make. Saying, oh my God, what do I do? God, tell me, wings, breaded or not?
Yeah, I know. My God.
So anyways, that's the plan. To
Yeah.
go play, have the post game refreshment.
Yeah.
Right, and then head to the pub.
Yeah.
And then do that, and hopefully plan for Saturday's championship.
Awesome.
And hoisting that trophy. I should, I've been lucky enough to be on a number of winning teams.
Yeah.
Right, over the years.
Yeah.
And it feels good. I know
It's good
it's
to win
just
at anything,
fucking
man.
old guy hockey.
Doesn't matter.
Well,
I've been there, done that too. Ask anybody who's played anything and won. And if later in life, they'll tell you. I look back at stuff I won in the 80s with my buds, and they're some of the greatest memories of my life.
Yeah. Oh, and Kent McDonald. Do you know Kent McDonald? Kentville. He's a welder. He built a cup, a Stanley Cup.
I saw so. Is that the one that was in there on?
Probably. No, the cup that was not the one that Jimmy had.
No, not the one that Jimmy had, but who had the other one in there? It looked like a mini Stanley Cup.
Okay, then that would have been it. That's the Monday night one. Now maybe no. You know what? And I could be wrong because the Sunday night guys, which are they're younger.
Yeah.
Like they're 25.
Yeah.
30,
I
right?
saw them. I
Okay.
was in there. I saw them
Okay.
in there. It's Riley
So-
Dunbar and
Yeah,
Justin
these are-
Gagnon,
these are
who was
kids-
playing senior this year. He got traded, so he didn't report. So he joins the Tick League, and they end up winning. What a
Well, this is
defenseman to pick up.
Well, these are the guys that Evan used to play up with Riley. Like this is the thing. Long story short, they might have a similar cup as
Okay.
well. I don't know what they have, but the Monday night cup.
Yeah.
Okay. Kent McDonald made okay, a number of years ago.
Yeah.
And it's a beauty.
Okay.
It's a Stanley Cup replica.
Yeah.
Okay. I've hoisted that thing
Yeah.
over my head more than once. Okay. Actually, about 4 times.
Right.
I've got Kristen. I don't know who took the picture. There's a great picture of me with nothing, like basically my skates. Still, my socks. You know when you get, most of my stuff.
You're gearing down.
The gearing down in the middle of whatever, and I've got the cups right there, and I'm holding it, and it's like it's just a great feeling. Like so this time of year is fucking the best time of year for playing
town
hockey.
leagues. Town leagues everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Like all over. When I'm up in Sudbury in the no-show league.
Yeah. Is that what they call it?
Yes, they call it the no-show league. The Northern Ontario Senior Hockey organization.
No show.
Okay.
Beautiful.
The no show. That's from Shoresy.
Shoresy,
That's
yeah.
And which, by the way, a couple of hot chicks in that.
Oh yeah.
And
he knows where to butter the bread.
Well, and you know what's funny? Because they say this. There's an inordinate number of attractive women in Sudbury, and there are.
Yeah.
There are some. Like I got to tell you, women in Sudbury are awesome, and most of them know how to clean a fish.
Yeah.
Okay, they hunt. I joke about this. I'll tell do you remember? You know her, okay? Joanne Moss.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
Jeff's wife.
Yeah.
So Joanne's an Elliott Lake girl.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just fucking.
Speaking of good skaters, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh.
She's an outstanding skater.
She came out. Where was she? Come out
I know she'd come out and play Quinterlude.
Yeah.
Come on the ice with us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
She's beautiful.
Not only is she beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. But she is she hunts, she fishes,
Yeah.
she cuts the grass,
Yeah.
she looks great in a bikini cutting the grass.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember back in the day, we were all young, we were in our 20s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and she's out cutting the grass, getting sun and everything like that. And
All the
people,
cars lined up.
Oh, yes. For miles, people coming all over. It's like making phone calls. Listen, Joanne's out cutting the grass. Okay, and such like first both her and Jeff.
Two of the greatest people.
So nice.
Yeah, as are the kids too.
So nice. Well, you know what? Riley and Mariah, they're great kids, and I haven't seen them in a long time. I know that they're, they're in a band. They, it's nice. Father and son play in a band.
Yeah, and Jeff plays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's they're just awesome. You just don't get any better.
Yeah. No. So
Don't get any better.
Again, the good-looking Northern Ontario.
Yeah,
guys that they were
I like
talking
it.
about in Shoresy.
Yeah.
But so to everybody up in Northern Ontario who is playing in their beer league finals this week, okay, we got you. We understand.
Yeah.
We understand it. Okay, so we were going to talk about one more thing. New York City.
Well,
the Empire State Building.
The Empire State Building.
Okay.
We don't have to belabor the point. It's mostly just an update, Chris.
Yeah.
I did go back and forth on in this particular case on Facebook. Not even my main Facebook page, but my author Facebook page.
Okay.
With a guy, Jamie. If you watch the show, and I told you Rempe would be different when he came back from the suspension. Not so much maybe because he wanted to, because the Rangers are in a life and death battle here with Carolina to win the division.
Okay.
And so he's
They
played.
don't want to lose them.
Well, not only do you not want to lose them, you can't afford them having running around out there like an idiot taking 5-minute majors. For that's going to leave you shorthanded for 5 minutes, could cost you the game. He's played a total of 12 minutes and 43 seconds in 2 games.
Okay.
In
So
2
that's-
games.
yeah.
Like one game, 5 minutes and change. The other game, 7 minutes and change. He's played 8 shifts, 12 shifts. He's got obviously nothing in points, but I mean, he's got no penalties either.
Right.
He hasn't drawn a penalty. So, point is, you're setting the table here too for what really should happen in the playoffs with both him and Ryan Reeves is you platoon these guys. It's a best of 7. You decide when and where, depending on the temperature of the game and who you're playing, if you want to insert a guy 6'8", 250 with what he's already done in the league. But the point is, Chris, is this. I'll finish on this note.
I'd have him standing right in front of the fucking net.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, the overall style of the playoffs, it does suit him in that sense, but I don't know that his game is necessarily up to speed for that with 12 NHL games under his belt. Yeah. We'll see. Listen, Laviolette may say exactly that. It may dress him. He may be in the starting 18 when they open the playoffs against whomever. I don't know. But the point is this. I said he was not going to come back and recklessly run around the ice and be fighting everybody like he was.
Right.
Believe me, he's going to fight again.
Yeah.
You know, you can pretty much circle the date with the Habs, and probably him and Wi-Fi are going to go, more than likely, right? But, I mean, the point is that he's taken almost no shifts, let alone has he not got a penalty.
Right.
And I think if they're smart, what I would do is I would platoon a guy like him, as I would Toronto with Ryan Reeves, and you end up against Florida. You want him in the series early. You're going to open up in their barn. He's dressing. I got Ryan to line up both games, and you see what the schedule is after that. You're playing a man down in terms of you only play these guys 4, 5, 6 minutes, maybe 7 tops, if that, not even in the playoffs probably. But at the end of the day, that's 8 or 10 shifts that you as a coach can decide when you want to put him out there, and he's your nuclear deterrent, which was Rick Bonus's turn or comment when he coached here in Ottawa back in the day, and he was referring to Mike Peluso in Ottawa's first year in 92, 93, and he carried that all the way through his coaching career. Having said that, that's my thought. I just wanted to mention that we did talk a lot about Rempe when everything happened. And Tom Wilson has just got suspended a game, 6 games. That's now the 9th one since Brendan Gallagher and everybody imploded.
Listen, was Wilson's... I don't understand it.
24th suspension this year, folks.
Yeah, I know that. But his was not on purpose.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Very obvious. He apologized right away.
Fuck, bullshit. I mean, he did apologize. That's not bullshit. But he absolutely swung his stick recklessly, trying to make contact with the head, in my opinion.
I think it was...
You're going to give him the benefit of the doubt?
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is you know what? I actually thought that his past caught up with him with this suspension. Because if you look at it and with everything that happened with respect to it, I would say it would be, I mean, and granted, it was a reckless...
It may not have been as egregious as some of his previous 5 suspensions.
But he's paying for it because of his
previous... I think that's the right call.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already been suspended this year too, so you had to do something. I mean, the recklessness of the stick caused enough... The nature of how it came flying around. I mean, if you're going to give Armia a double minor in overtime for a play that he had zero ability to control, ability to control. Well, then this is
like
this is a suspension too.
In his skates. Oh, it was an accident.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that Armia, by the letter of the law, deserved that penalty, even though he had no control over it. But he deserved it because the result indicated he deserved it.
And the blood makes it a double.
That's right. Tom Wilson deserved the suspension.
Right, but like I say, I think it was 6 games because of his history.
Well, it
as
is.
opposed to 2 games.
Well, it wouldn't have been 2. Probably would have been 3 because it was a pretty egregious stick right to the face area, and then people are going to say, "Well, hold on, what about Trent Frederick getting hit earlier this year?" And nothing called. And that's, I mean, it's just, who knows with George Barrows and that committee sometimes what the hell they're doing. I watched them in the meetings down there. I mean, talking about some of the changes they're going to make and this and that. And I'm watching George and I realized how he played the game. He was a pure enforcer in that era, in that genre and everything else. And here he is now, head of Department of Player Safety. It really is a contradiction in terms. Having said that, there you go. Wilson's a 24th suspension. He got suspended earlier this year. It was an automatic. It was going to be an in-person hearing, minimum 5.
So the over-under on number of suspensions for the year?
Right, we're trending. There was 27 last year. They're at 24 right now. They average 1 a week.
Yeah.
So, we got 3 more weeks of hockey to go.
Yeah. So
pencil it in.
Yeah. So you're betting 27's the
I'll
line?
go with
Is
27.
it going to be over 27?
No.
27.
No, I think it's 27 is a push. I think Vegas would probably establish the odds at 26.5. So you got to take the over at 27. If you think it's going to be 27, I'd probably take the under. I think they'll probably go with 2 in the next 3 weeks.
All right. So you're taking the under. You're taking under 27.
I'm going to take under 27. I think they're going to come in at 26, but they did have 27 last year.
Okay.
So we'll see how it plays out. Having said that, a lot of this suspension talk from me is largely because most of the world blew up on Brendan Gallagher 9 suspensions ago.
I just dropped the Gallagher. Oh,
not gonna.
God.
Nope, not dropping it.
God.
Not dropping it. Not happening.
Oh.
I'll quit drinking before I stop talking about Brendan Gallagher.
Oh, fucking, we're fucking doomed then. There's never gonna happen. Okay, so listen. Speaking of which, you were talking about odds, and we're gonna close out.
Yeah, because I'm out of beer.
So someone asked me how someone asked me how our gambling app's going.
Oh yeah.
And I said,
Maybe we should run that again.
I said, did you even watch the video?
Yeah.
Okay. And they go, yeah. I said, you realize that it was sarcasm. It was satire. You know, I'm not actually promoting the betting on children's sports. Oh, okay, I get it now. And it's like, really? Do you get it now?
Yeah.
And so, so I mean, maybe we'll end it off with, I'll play that. I'll put this at the end of this again. So that, you know, by this point in our show, no one's even fucking watching.
No,
right?
no, we're doing.
Like there would be
we've
one
exhausted
guy,
everybody.
One guy who's working, he's been on the treadmill for 6 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're still going. But as a general rule, you know, we lose them right after.
It's offside with Hans McGuire.
No. We have actually the numbers. I can tell you the trending, how long people watch and whatever. And that's why I get my political shit out of the way early.
Yeah. Well, you did today.
No. Okay. Yeah. So listen, that's the end of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be back after Easter, probably with some what do you call it? Chocolate eggs and stuff.
Sure.
Bunny rabbit. Yeah. When you eat your bunny rabbit, do you eat the ears first? What do you do?
Yeah, I bite the head right off it.
You do?
Yeah, right off it. I love chocolate too. I eat chocolate morning, noon, and night. I eat a lot of chocolate.
Really?
Goes great with beer.
Yeah.
It really does.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
I don't eat a lot of chocolate, but I do. Yeah. I will tell you this. So did I say this already? I went to the gas station to get gas the other day.
Yeah.
And I go inside and I say, I'm craving something. Right?
Yeah.
So I go to get a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
And I look and the sign says 2
long-haired
for
freaky
$6.
people need not apply.
Exactly. We'll have to anyway. So 2 for $6.
Wow.
I go 2 for $6.
It's a bargain at twice the price.
I was like, well, fucking, how much is a chocolate bar? Like I in my mind, a chocolate was $1.
Oh, okay, I
right?
see. Yeah, so $3 each.
I'm going $3.
Well, that seems a little high.
So then I go to the guy. I say, well, how much is just one? And he goes, it's $3.80.
Yeah.
$3.80. I said, well, fuck that. I don't need a chocolate bar. So I go and I just pay for my gas. I leave, and then I had to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay. So I go over and I need it, and Grace told me that I need, because I like pudding, right? Because I'm old.
Okay. Pudding and pie.
So I was going to go over to the dollar store.
Yeah.
To get some pudding.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's cheaper there. So I go there, and they got chocolate bars there, 91 cents.
Wow.
91 cents, almost $3 less. And then I find out Giant Tiger, they're 89 cents.
Even better.
Yeah. So here's my question.
You have loaded up on chocolate bars from GT.
No, I haven't. I honestly bought 2 though.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was 2 for under $2.
The way it should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
The way it should be.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. Don't tell me about fucking, like I know that there's a lot of inflation going on, but there's a lot of fucking greed going on.
For sure.
Do you know a can of Coke? If I go to the gas station at the Four Corners, where the Gypsy used to be.
Yep.
Okay. I go to that gas station. A can of Coke is $1.29.
Okay.
Okay.
I hear Pepsi's 89 cents. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't settle. Okay. It's $1.29. At the gas station here at Mitch Owens, and okay.
Yeah.
It's $1.59.
Wow.
30 cents extra?
Yeah.
Come on. It's just fucking people ripping us all off. Like, we have to start fucking, I've been saying this at the end, we got to stop fucking paying this ridiculous amounts of money for things and just fucking shut them down. Fucking. I'm going to end this by calling all those people who are overcharging for things, chocolate bars and fucking pizzas and, you know what I mean? And you know what you are? You're all fucking bastards. This has been Haas McGuire. I'm Haas.
I'm McGuire. G'day.
Introducing TimBets, the betting app for youth sports. Bet on all your children's activities with TimBets hockey, TimBets soccer, TimBets basketball, TimBets football, and TimBets schoolyard fights.
Fight!
TimBets, the betting app for youth sports. Don't just bet on sports, bet on the future of sports.